everyone, and welcome to the Putnam County Fair. We're so excited to be with you tonight. The weather is absolutely wonderful. We've got great things in store for you, and I have a driver, and also hosting with me tonight is Josh Reed. Josh, so nice to have you with us.
Oh, it's nice to be here. I appreciate y'all letting me come up here and chit-chat with you.
Oh, we're so excited. And you'll be driving, and happens pretty quick, correctly?
Yes, ma'am. Our class is actually the first class. I'll be the second truck in our class. So just in a few minutes, I'm going to put a wireless mic on, and y'all can hear what goes through us on the truck.
Yeah, so we've not done this before, so we're really looking forward to it. So he's going to wear a mic, and he's going to talk us through as he makes his run. So we're real excited about that. We hope everything goes well. We can hear him clearly, but we're so excited that Josh and all of his experience is here tonight. And like I said, if you're not at the fair, come join us. But if you're home, I hope you're tuning in to WCTE, and we are streaming live. And so you've got multiple ways that you can see this fun event tonight, and we're just so excited. So, Josh, tell me where you're from.
I'm from Springfield, Tennessee.
Have you ever lived anywhere else?
No, ma'am. Lived right there my whole life. Born and raised.
All your family's around there?
Oh, yeah. I got a whole posse watching this tonight. There's probably 100 right there in my hometown.
Oh, wow.
It ain't every day little old boy from the country gets to be on TV.
Well, give them a big shout out, Josh.
Like I say out to all my family and everybody back home.
A Star is Born. So tell me a little bit about what we're going to see tonight.
Well, what we got is the first class. We're going to start with 6,200 super stock trucks, four-wheel drives. And we'll go from there to the 11,000 altered farm tractors.
Yeah.
You'll get to see some black smoke and, stuff from them. And then we're going down two-wheel drive classes and such and so on. There's really, really good lineup tonight. There are going to be trucks that's former points champions. There's going to be trucks here that is going to be points champions. There's going to be trucks here that want to be a points champion. And there's going to be trucks here that just come to put on a show. They don't care about the points. They just want to have a good time.
All right. So what is the advantage of someone who is going out there and they're wanting to get the points?
So the way the points work is every event you go to, you get a certain amount of points. And at the end of the year, you get the points champion. And, of course, it comes with a payout check and a trophy that's 4 foot tall. That's more important to us pullers than the checks.
Is it really?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We got bragging rights on them trophies.
Okay.
So we build whole shelves in your garage at home just for trophies.
You see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Wow, that sure gets tonight started off with a great start here
Yes,
in
ma'am.
that anthem. And
It's a good-looking set of mules they got there.
It sure is. It sure is.
My brother got a bunch of mules when he was growing up.
So tell me, get me back to this points thing we were talking about.
So
Okay, so tell me about these points thing you were talking to me about, but you would prefer the trophy because it's bragging rights. So where do you leave this at? Where is it? Where do
it's
you
in
put
my shop.
Oh, well, who sees it in your shop?
Me.
Oh, okay.
And then, when we have birthday parties for my little girl and stuff, we have them in my shop. So whenever everybody comes over, I'll be like, check out my trophies.
Okay, all right. So we understand. So good. So how long have you been doing this, Josh?
Well, I rode bulls professional, and I retired from riding bulls in 2015. In 2015, when I retired from riding bulls, I had to do something because I can't sit still. I am a competitive person. So we started building the truck in 15. So that's how we come about to be a truck puller.
Okay.
I had some cousins coming up that pulled in a street class and a hot street and whatnot. And so they pulled, and so we bought us a truck so we could pull with them, and then it's just evolved.
Well, we get some little noise out there behind us. That means that they're coming in. The pulls will start happening pretty soon. I think this is maybe the first class. I haven't gotten any paperwork yet. I hope to get some soon.
Yes, ma'am. First class is going to be our class, actually. So we should start off the show with Dustin Mings.
Okay, good.
And he's from Campbellsville, Kentucky. Pulls a black truck. It's a 68 model Chevrolet they call Thumper.
Thumper, okay.
It's a really, really good truck.
All
Really good
right.
truck.
So when you say truck, you mean tractor? I'm confused.
No, it's a truck. What you're seeing is a tractor, but we pull a four-wheel drive truck class. So it's an actual pickup truck.
Well, you're right. It's got Thumper, Dustin Mings, and then it'll be you,
Yes,
Little
ma'am.
Deuce, Josh Freed.
Yeah.
So do you get nervous when you're in there?
I do. I don't know what it is about these fire suits and these FR suits that we wear, but if you have ever had problems using the restroom, you put one of these suits on and get ready to drive one of them trucks, and it will free up your valves.
So we're not giving you any water tonight, right?
No, not until after I pull.
Not until after you pull.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So do you win frequently?
I win when the good Lord's ready for me to win.
All right. Do you feeling good that the
I
Lord's
feel
with
good.
you
My
tonight?
truck's running good. We checked out good. We do maintenance on it and look over everything before we come to pulls. Everything checked out good, so we'll see.
All right. So let's talk a little bit about that maintenance. Do you do most of the maintenance yourself, or do you have to get outside help? How does that work?
Well, most of the maintenance is done at myself. Most of my outside work is in the actual building of the motor. The gentleman that builds my motors is Jeremy Shaw Racing Engines, and he builds my motors, and he's the only person that touches my motors other than myself.
Okay. So you only trust this to certain people.
Yes, ma'am. Yep.
So when does this season kick off for everyone, and how are you gone every weekend? How does that work?
Not every weekend. We have weekends that are all on and off, and the season usually starts around the 1st of May, and it goes all summer long, all up to the fall, and it's usually over sometime in the end of September, 1st of October.
Okay. So on Thumper, Dustin Mings, where does he hail from? You said Campbellsville, Kentucky?
Yes, ma'am. He lives in Campbellsville, Kentucky.
Is it usually just the two of you, or how many people can be in a class?
Well, we started off this season, and our first pull of the season was in Tompkinsville, Kentucky, and we had 9 trucks in our class.
Wow.
And yeah, it was really good. And we have maintained between 5 and 6 trucks, but due to some issues with parts, really hard to find. If you break anything right now, you're looking at 3 to 6 weeks before you get a part, and that's just a simple part. If you break something internally in that motor, like a set of pistons right now is 12 weeks to get a set of pistons.
So this has really impacted the sport.
Yes, ma'am. It's in a real bad way. And plus, there's some of the people that pull with us are a long ways away. So with diesel fuel being $4.50, $5 a gallon, they kind of limited where they go because of such the price of fuel.
So I was going to ask you that question, but with everything, but of course I heard this morning on the news, things are coming down for the first time in a long time. But this has really hit you guys hard, I
Yes,
take
ma'am,
it.
it is. Our rigs that we haul with, we're getting 7-8 miles a gallon. And, me and my wife, we was invited to Kansas City, Missouri back in March. So it's a 1,100 mile round trip. So, 6-7 miles a gallon, 1,100 miles at $5 diesel, it gets pretty pricey.
So did you go?
Yes, ma'am, we went.
Did you? Did
Yeah.
you have a good time?
Oh, we had a blast.
I'm so glad.
Yeah.
I'm so glad. It's hard right now for everyone, but then on that you've got the cost of fuel, then you've got the cost of labor, and if you use a mechanic, and
Yes, ma'am.
you do it yourself, and then on top of that you've got another level of just the parts being delayed. So
Yes,
there's a
ma'am.
lot of things that you did not
Yeah.
have to worry about in the past that you're now worrying about.
Yeah.
Well, here comes Troublemaker. He's entering the arena right now.
Yes, ma'am.
So what kind of truck is that exactly, Josh?
That's a Ford. That's an early 60 model Ford. That will be a 5200 two-wheel drive truck. Now, a lot of people that don't pull or so much, everybody when they talk about truck pulling, they think four-wheel drive is the way to go. If you was to put a two-wheel drive truck that weighed 5,800 pounds and a four-wheel drive truck that weighed 5,800 pounds, and you had them weighted where the pullers know how to weight these trucks, I would say 7 out of 10 times that two-wheel drive truck is going to outpull that four-wheel drive truck.
Really? The
Because-
two-wheel will outpull the four-wheel?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, when you talked about the weights, they're putting some weights down there on the back of the truck, it looks
Yes,
like,
ma'am.
right? How much weight do they put on there? What are the guidelines for that?
Well, every class is different, and of course every truck is different. Now, in the two-wheel drive classes, you'll see most of the weights in the bed or behind the rear end, and
Oh.
you'll see some of them out in the front, but most of them is in the rear because it gets the weight to the rear end. Now, in the four-wheel drive trucks, we have big boxes out there. Every bit of our weights is in that box
I see.
because it holds the front tires down, let them hold. Now, these guys, they don't care if their front tires come off the ground. Actually, in the perfect scenario, their front tires would lift between 4 and 6 inches off the ground and go the whole track
Wow.
because that puts every bit of the weight on them back two tires.
Okay, so he's on the scale. They're weighing him right now. What is he doing under the hood?
He's got weights under there.
Oh,
So he's going to remove some weights because apparently his truck's a little fat,
it's a little fat?
a little overweight.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. All right. So what do you have to weigh? What
These guys weigh, them guys weigh 5,200. Now, myself and Thumper in the four-wheel drive class, we weigh 6,200. Now, that means that truck with myself in it cannot exceed 6,200 pounds.
So why did he not pull from the back of the truck? Why did he go under the hood to pull the weight?
Well, he feels like that maybe he would rather lose a little weight in the front to that way he could have the extra weight in the rear to get a little more traction.
Okay. Okay. I think I understand that. All right. Well, that's good. That's good to know. All right. So once he gets the weight right, then he'll go off the scales, and then what happens?
Then he'll get in line up for his class. He'll ease around to his and get in his position, and then the person behind him will come up on the scale.
Okay. So they don't pull until they've got a couple of them weighed in.
Yes,
Is that
ma'am.
right?
They'll get them lined out so that way everything goes smoothly. So that way the crowd's not waiting on the next guy to weigh and get teched in and everything.
Well, while we wait, I would love to hear from Carolyn and Dawson at Backstage Pass.
And welcome to the 96th Annual Putnam County Fair. You're at Backstage Pass, and I am here with Caroline Moore. My name is
Hello.
Dawson Davidson, and we're at the Truck and Tractor Pull. We're in our John Deere green.
We had to do it.
We had to do it, so here we are. We're ready. We're excited for the crowd. There's a great group of people here, and there's a lot of fun entries, so we're ready for more.
Let's go.
Here we go. Catch us back here in a few minutes. We'll see you later.
Oh, gosh.
All right.
I'm so
Looks
excited.
like we're about ready to go. I see
know,
Mr.
I
Means
know.
getting in his truck back
Okay,
there.
so now who's kind of taking care of your truck as you go?
Well, I pulled my truck out earlier. We went through techs, made sure it was weighted and everything. We pulled it out there. My motor man, Mr. Shaw, is back there with it and stuff, getting everything ready. So it's about time for me to ease around yonder and do the deal.
So now, is this your truck we're seeing on the screen right now?
No, ma'am, that is actually Miss Carla Turner's truck. That truck's called Late Night Hookers. Now, there's a funny story with that truck right there that I'll explain to y'all when they start pulling this class.
Now, remember, this is a family show.
Well, Miss Carla is engaged to Troy Gentry. Troy Gentry also pulls in the same class as Carla,
Well,
and they're battling for the lead right now for the points.
does that ever get any interesting
I
comments
would
or
say-
conversations?
I would say it's pretty intense some nights on the way home.
Oh.
So,
tell us more.
it gets pretty juicy. So we give him a pretty hard time. But Troy, in all aspects, he does not want to be beat. But he gives Carla the advantage in every chance he gets to beat him.
Oh, well, that's
And he is just as happy for her to win as him, but he knows he's going to hear it when she beats him.
That's very nice. That's very nice of him. So he supports her in the sport.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, good.
He actually bought the truck for her as a surprise gift.
So what made her decide to get into this? Was she always? Is this how they
She
met?
always liked it, yeah. I mean, there's a lot of women that's involved in truck pulling and pulling sports. There's a lot of women in it.
So how many would you say are in the sport?
Oh, several. Like several. There's a young lady that pulls a four-drive truck with us named Corey Thomas, Youngblood, and I begged them to come tonight, but they got some issues as well.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. All right. Well, this is just so much fun.
there's Miss Carla standing there.
Is it?
That's Miss Carla.
So now how often has she won?
Oh, she's won quite a bit. She's actually about 15 or 16 points ahead.
Really? Now is this her?
No, that's the tech man.
Okay.
He's a biased tech official, and he takes all the trucks the same to make sure everybody is legit.
Okay.
So-
So where does he come from? Like,
He's actually a hired person. He pulls the truck. Now, that's my truck.
oh, they're showing your truck.
Yes, ma'am.
So now tell me a little bit about this truck. It's got some artists.
Well, when we first started pulling, we pulled a street class, and helmets wasn't required. Well, as we advanced and upgraded in classes, they started making us wear safety equipment. Well, in the midst of this, my wife is deadly afraid of clowns, scared to death of clowns. So I had a helmet made of a creepy clown as a joke. Well, so as a few years went by, people started knowing my truck, and when we would show up, they would say, "You got your helmet?" And I was like, "Yeah, I got my helmet, you know." Well, so when we stepped up to the larger class we're in now, we were allowed a weight box in the front. Well, when I was putting that weight box on, my older brother was helping me. Him and I are out there jig-jagging around, and he said, "You know what would be creepy?" I said, "What's that?" He said, "If you put the It Clown on the front of this weight box," he said, "that'd be creepy." And I laughed. I said, "Yeah, it would." So we done it, just as a joke. Well, as the years have progressed on and whatnot, the truck has developed into what it is now. And most people know my truck as the creepy clown truck.
So how's the wife feel about this?
Well, it took some used to. She's pretty used to it now, and she actually bought this new helmet that I wear now and give it to me for a Christmas present. So,
Well, wonderful information, Josh. We're going to toss it back to the backstage pass. Dawson?
Welcome back to Backstage Pass. We are joined by Jonathan Norris of Southern Landscape Supply. Welcome. How are you doing tonight?
Doing well. Thank you all for having me.
Now, I understand your company is sponsoring the events.
That's true. We're actually sponsoring the WCTE broadcast for tonight, so we're proud to do it.
Tell us a little bit about Southern Landscape Supply.
Southern Landscape Supply, we started that in 2005 here in Cookeville as the hub kind of for the Upper Cumberland. And we serve the Upper Cumberland and outdoor power equipment. And recently, we just built a new location over on Rich Fronting Way, 611 Rich Fronting Way. So we're moving to a little bit bigger location so we can provide more service and products for our customers.
And what is some of your favorite things about the fair?
Well, we love the truck and tractor pull. That's kind of right up our alley.
Y'all can probably hear it. All right.
And always the food.
Well, thank you so much for coming on the show. More with Backstage Pass.
Thank you.
WCTE's coverage of the Putnam County Fair is brought to you by Swallows Insurance Agency, The Realty Firm, Bailey Tire Company, the Putnam County Farm Bureau, Southern Landscape Supply, the City of Cookeville, Putnam County, the Putnam County Fair, and by Twin Lakes.
Bailey Tire Company can align anything. Bailey Tire Company can service the needs of any heavy-duty and commercial vehicle. Bailey Tire Company can align your heavy-duty equipment with pinpoint accuracy. Bailey Tire Company, 6150 Roberts Matthews Highway in Sparta.
The Putnam County Farm Bureau proudly supports the Putnam County Agricultural and Industrial County Fair and the education and sustainability of agriculture in the Upper Cumberland region.
All right, we are back. I had to say goodbye to my wonderful co-host, Josh Reed. He's getting ready to follow Thumper, and he'll be driving the Little Deuce. And like I said, for the first time, we're so excited about this. We're going to have a mic on him. And I'm not saying we've never, ever done it before, but we hope that we'll have a chance to hear him talk to us as he makes his run tonight with the Little Deuce. So we're wishing Josh all the luck in the world. Right now, we're getting ready to watch Dustin Mings. He's in Thumper. I believe they told me that he's from Kentucky, and that, you know, he's got his weights all right. He's I think Josh shared with us he has to weigh around 6,900 pounds, and he adjusted the weights from the back to the front because he wanted more traction, I think, on the rear of the truck than the front. So we're going to see how that strategy works for him, and then just right after that, we're going to hope to see Josh do really well. He's going off the stage now. We just got a thumbs up from him. We're getting a close look at Dustin as he kind of pulls that slack out of that chain, and he gets ready.
Again, it's Dustin Mings riding Thumper.
So, you know, I just saw that. It looked like it was a good run to me, and I'm by far no expert, but he really made it a long way down. Didn't seem like he was losing any traction on that. Looked like everything was going really well. So I hope that they're pleased with the ride. I think now I'm a little bit curious about how I can get into that sled, because that guy's driving. How does that work? I just wonder all about that. There's so much to learn about this sport, so much to that is exciting. It takes so many people to be a part of this. I'm not sure what they're doing now. I guess I wish I knew the answer to that, but I'm not really sure. But it looks as if they're, before they unhooking him up, here they did. That's what that was. So they unhooked him. So now that sled, or we'll go back, they'll reset everything, and we'll get to see our co-host tonight, Josh Reed, will take his run in the Little Deuce. Now, he told me before leaving that he wouldn't trust his truck with anyone, but he does have someone that he trusts so much. So he has, I think, his truck weighed in. I think they do this so that our viewers and those that are in the stands here at the Putnam County Fair won't have to wait that long, but it does take a few minutes to get everything reset, so we'll try to be patient as they do that and go through that process. So, you know, it gets a little loud. It gets a little dusty out here, but it is a great deal of fun. So if you are not here at the Putnam County Fair, I would encourage you to come down and enjoy us. This is a lot of fun to watch. The weather is absolutely wonderful. Last night was a little humid. Tonight it is less humid, and there's this wonderful breeze. So here we see Josh. He's in what they say, everyone calls it his clown truck, or it's a creepy clown truck, I think is what he said. It kind of started out as a joke, so he's backing it up there. I'm not sure when they will be able to hear him. I guess they'll cue me, but I sure hope that goes well and we can hear him. He's backing up to the sled right now, so he's going to hook up and get ready to go. Then he'll get his helmet on, because we want him to be safe out there, so they are required to wear the protective suits, the helmets, everything. I think I see him give a thumbs up, so he must be telling those around him that he feels comfortable where he's going, but they're still doing some tweaking on that. This is so exciting. I asked him earlier, do you get nervous? And he says every time. You get a little bit of that adrenaline and a little bit of, nerves.
Spin catching contest will be in 5 minutes in the big
All right,
barn.
here we go, Josh. We're pulling for you, buddy. He's from Springfield, Tennessee, I believe he tells me. Never lived anywhere else. He's a lineman. That's what he professionally does, but this is his passion. This is his passion, to go around Kansas, wherever they need him, where there's a chance to compete. And he says because he loves that competitive side of the sport. And so he seems to know a lot about it. I just met him tonight, but I'm so glad that he is here with WCTE and he's walking through the sport with us because he seems to have a great deal of knowledge. You hear him revving it up. So I think that's him. That could have been someone else. You see the green lights on the sled, so I assume that means we're good to go and he's ready to go. Here we go. Oh my gosh, he did well.
Back in there. Right there. Close the stop before the gravel.
And first place, that's Josh Reed with 355.48 feet. And second place, Dustin Means driving Thumper, 314.41.
Hope you folks at home can hear the voice of the fair.
First place, that is your current points leader, Josh Reed.
All right, so that's going to be the two competitors in Class 1. As you can see, it looks like Josh Reed had a really good run. I mean, he just drove that truck all the way back, and he's got on that creepy helmet. You can see the little blue hair on it, or I hope you can. And so we now understand what the branding is behind all that and where that comes from. Anxious for him to come back up on stage and tell us how it went from his perspective. I hope we were able to hear him. I'm not sure that we were. I could not hear him where I was, but what a helmet that man has. I'm sure he gets a lot of attention, but he certainly will probably get some more attention as he gets that trophy handed to him. As he told us earlier and as we started, that he certainly is, that's their pride of joy to get that little trophy and show it off, whether it's small or it's large, to have a lot of pride in it. So we're just so happy for him. They're taking a few pictures and celebrating his win in Class 1, which is a 6200 Super Street 4-wheel drive. And again, we're at the Putnam County Fair. It's a beautiful night, and we hope you can join us soon. I was hoping he'd bring that trophy up for us to take a closer look, but I think he's going to keep it in that truck of his. But I'm certainly excited. He did extremely well. And so we'll then next get ready to go to the second class, which is, I think, the Altered Farm Tractor. And we may have 3 or 4 people that are in this class. So that should be exciting. And hopefully Josh can fill us in on everything about this next time. He right now is getting unmiked, and he's going to take off his fire jack. I don't know what that is, a fire suit or whatever. So he's going to get on headset, and he'll be joining us more, and he'll be able to tell you a little bit about, you know, how it felt. I can't wait to talk to him about it. I don't think that I've ever sat beside someone who has actually been a competitor in a race, and he's going down there running because he wants to get his hat. So if you wonder what he's doing, he is trying to get his hat from that truck, and then he'll be joining us again. You can see on your screens at home that they have another truck on the scales, and they're getting ready to weigh them. It'll be interesting to see what the strategy will be on that. Oh, we're going to go to the backstage pass while we're waiting when they weigh in. So Carolyn Dawson, who have you got for us?
All right.
And welcome back to Backstage Pass at the 96th Annual Putnam County Fair. We are here with the president of the Fair Board, John Allen. How are you?
I'm great, thank you. It's a gorgeous night at the fair.
It's a beautiful night, and we're excited about the crowd. John, tell us what it took to put this fair on, and tell us how we won our championship.
Well, it takes 14 months of work. We start before the next fair. We start 2 months before it ever. And it takes 14 months to plan and implement the fair. What really put us over the top was Grandma's Barnyard.
Yes.
We did everything else, and finally we found our niche. And our niche is a barnyard that is just like my grandmother had in the 1940s and the 1950s.
And we've got one more day of the fair, and then we have a Sunday event because motorcycle races were postponed, so they're going to come back on Sunday. Is that right?
That's correct.
Yeah.
We will have, tomorrow night we'll have the second Demolition Derby, which will be our biggest night at the fair. It always is.
Yeah.
And then Sunday afternoon we'll have motorcycle races.
Well, John, you're a pleasure. Thank you for being here. We're going to send you guys to a break.
All entries and hookup fees are donated.
That is.
Upper Cumberland since 2012 with locations in Cookeville, Byrdstown, Livingston, Crossville, and Gainsborough. The full-service realty firm ensures that each client is educated, motivated, and updated, creating an experience, not a transaction.
Southern Landscape Supply offers a large variety of outdoor power equipment, including zero-turn mowers, bad boy tractors, specialty turf equipment, turf and landscape supplies, parts, and services. Since 2004, Southern Landscape Supply has been providing the Upper Cumberland with their outdoor power equipment needs.
Since their beginning in 1956, Swallows Insurance Agency has been providing protection for thousands of individuals and families throughout our region. Swallows Insurance cares about the safety and well-being of you, your family, and our community. Swallows Insurance Agency, with 3 locations in Cookeville, Livingston, and Smithville. Online at swallowsinsurance.com.
Welcome back, everyone, where I'm sitting by the winner of that last class, which is Josh Reed, and I just want to ask you, how was it?
It was all right. Yeah, it was.
Well, you look like you're going to keep driving through the fair.
Well, most of the time the sled stops you, so it hadn't stopped me yet, so I didn't stop going.
Oh, okay. So you had a lot of power in there.
Well, we got lucky. Yeah, good Lord was with us.
Oh, I'm so glad. You did well. It looked good from here. It felt good where you were sitting.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, everything good. The oil pressure stayed up. Truck didn't make no weird sounds and drove itself to the trailer. That's a blessing.
All right. That sounds wonderful. So did you talk us through?
I was trying to, but once I put my helmet on, it's pretty minimum of how much I could talk. So, did you get a good look at my helmet?
Yeah, I noticed it.
It's pretty sexy, ain't it?
Well,
it really brings out the color of my eyes.
Probably.
Yeah.
It probably does.
Yeah.
I'm still. Maybe I need to take a closer look, but I'm so glad you won.
Yes, ma'am.
And it looked like a great run as well.
It felt like a good one. Yes, ma'am.
You know, talking about people we need to thank and congratulate, I want to talk about our sponsors tonight. And we just saw them on the TV screen. If you're watching from home, if you're watching the stream, Swallows Insurance, and I'll remember to pick up some of the other names as we go on through the night. But I just want to say thank you. It's because of them sponsoring our events that we're here and we're able to bring this wonderful truck and tractor show to you, which is Josh and Dustin Mings and several other people that we're going to
Yes,
see
ma'am.
tonight. Enjoy doing, and we enjoy watching. So a shout out to all of our sponsors. Thank you. Thank you from WCTE. It means so much to us, and we are so grateful for your support. All right, Josh, so we're going to be coming up on Class 2. Now, Class 2 is the altered farm tractor.
Yes, ma'am.
So tell me what you know about that. It looks like we've got 4 people that's in that class.
Yes, ma'am. We have 3 contestants, and this guy's got a new tractor. And he's just going to do a expedition run.
Oh, I didn't know that you could do that in a competition.
Well, there's no other way to test these trucks and tractors other than hooking them to that sled. I mean, on a drag car, you can build your drag car up and then take it out in front of your house and burn out and test it out. On a round track car, you can do the same thing, test it out.
Yeah.
Well, on truck and tractor pull, there's nothing that you have that can simulate how that sled operates behind your vehicle. So these guys will build these new tractors or trucks, or say, and they'll bring them to places like this, and instead of paying the large amount to hook to it in the competition, they'll say, hey, can I do an expedition run? This is a new vehicle, and they'll pay a certain amount of money, and they'll get it, but they won't compete for the money. Here they just get a pass on their tractor or their truck, so that way they can test out what they've changed to see if it's working. They might have a new turbo on there. They might have changed something in the fuel injection. They might have changed the set of tires. There's a lot of stuff different that goes through these tractors and trucks that people don't see normally.
So I learned something now. I did not know that. But so 3 of them have a draw number, and that
Yes, ma'am.
lets us know that they're the competitors.
Yes, ma'am.
And one bad apple, which is Dakota Wolford, his will be an exhibition run only. Oh, it's called Expedition?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, all right. All right, well, we're looking forward to that. So now what are we seeing right here right now? Can you talk us through what we're seeing on the screen?
Yes, ma'am. What we're doing here is it looks like the sled operator is adding weight. Now, our trucks that y'all just watched pull are 6,200-pound four-wheel drives. Now, these tractors are 11,000 pounds, so they're
heavy.
4,800 pounds heavier than us. So it's like 2 of our trucks from one of these tractors. So they have to add weight to that sled, so that way it will stop these tractors, or they'll do like go way out through yonder. So, and then sometimes you won't see him have to add weight or adjust weight. And that sled has different gear sets that are on the box, and they can speed that box up, slow it down. And if it's a class that's real close together, he might not need to add weight. He might just need to speed that box up a little bit, or maybe even slow it down a little bit, so that way the guys can go, they like to keep them around 300.
So when you say 300, is that RPM?
300 foot.
Oh, 300 foot.
Yes,
okay.
ma'am.
Okay, I'm not sure what you were talking about there. So how does he make that decision? Well, look at this.
Well, them sled operators, they operate them sleds a whole lot. That one sled, he might go to 60 or 70 pulls this summer. So, he might be in that sled for, 5 or 6 hours a day for 50 or 60 days in a row. So he learns that sled, and he knows, and he learns these classes, and he knows what it takes to stop these classes.
So these look like they're brand new tractors. Are they fairly
Well, that's
new?
not. That looks like it's an old International. It looks like a 1066 maybe. It might be bigger than that. If I get a good look at it, I can tell you the numbers on it. This tractor right here is old. Like, it's in the 80s models. And these guys, they take really, really a lot of pride in restoring these tractors back to their original forms and making them look like they're brand new. But this tractor right here is probably as old as I am.
It's shiny. It had a new
Yes,
paint
ma'am.
job, hasn't it?
Yes, ma'am.
So they wear a helmet on this as well, right?
Yes, ma'am. You see, he's got a helmet. He's got a fire suit on. And he's got a seat with a harness. And he'll have flame-resistant shoes and stuff on. And all this stuff is required.
Okay, so talk to me a little bit about the harness. He's pulling the weight. He's getting the slack out of the way right now, right?
So he's got a double strap harnesses that goes over top of him. And what that's designed is to keep him in that driver's seat. if something happens and this tractor gets a little jiggy-jaggy with it, and it gets AWOL or even ends up on its side, that harness will keep him from flying out.
Oh, okay.
But he's got a roll cage. If you look right above his shoulders there, that's a roll cage. So if it does end up on its side, it won't end up on him.
Okay, so he's building up his...
Boost. Getting his RPMs up. You see the smoke change colors here. There you go. Now he's ready to go. Yeah, baby.
So when do you know... Oh, well, let's just go watch the run.
Yes, sir. That's a good pass there.
346.55 feet.
Now, those guys that pull these diesels, they've done this so much, they know where their RPM range is. They know where their tractor is doing by the color of that smoke.
Oh, can they really?
Yes.
Okay, that's
Like
interesting.
they can tell if that tractor needs more fuel or if it's got too much fuel because of the color of that smoke. They want that smoke a little darker than dark charcoal gray, but not coal black.
So his had kind of a grayish tint.
Yes,
You're
ma'am.
telling me that when he sees that, he knows that the performance of that is he's off to a good start.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, let's go backstage. I think that Dawson and Carolyn has somebody wonderful to talk to.
Great. Welcome back to Backstage Pass. We are joined by Lila Marcy. She is a Junior Fair Board member. Lila, what does it mean to you to be a Junior Fair Board member?
To me, to be a Junior Fair Board member, it means that you have hard work, teamwork, and you get to experience so many things and learn so many lessons so early on.
My friend, tell me, what does the Putnam County Fair mean to you?
The Putnam County Fair means a whole community coming together to have fun, have a great time.
Yeah.
There's something here for everyone.
Yes. And do you have a favorite fair treat when you're at the fair?
Probably fried Oreos.
Of course.
They're
That's
the
my
best.
favorite. That's the best. Thank you for being here. You're a delight. Let's go back to more truck and tractor pull.
Okay, so
Okay.
was that not the neatest thing? Backstage, they had Lila, and she is a Junior Fair Board member.
Hey,
That's starting young.
That's awesome.
Isn't
That's
that
awesome.
wonderful?
That's awesome.
I think
See,
it's so great.
it's the youth that we have to rely on to continue on the traditions that we have right now.
You're exactly right. We've got to mentor them and just get them ready to enjoy this sport like everyone is tonight, whether they're watching or they're actually driving in it tonight.
Yes, ma'am.
So you've got some trucks out there now, but we're still in the tractor
Yes, ma'am.
class 2. Why are the trucks out there?
Well, as you see, these are little trucks that are coming in now. So the tractors are the class that is performing at the moment. The next class is going to be these trucks that you see staged up. And like that truck right there, see, they're getting these trucks ready so that way when the tractors are done, they can roll right over into the trucks and the people, they keep the show going. It makes it more fluent.
Oh, good. So we still have 2 more competitors in Class 2, and that's the Altered Farm Tractor. And then we have one, this is going to kind of like a test run.
Well,
Because
yeah.
it wants to make
Sometimes
sure.
them test runs are very interesting.
Are they?
Yeah, it gets the best stuff.
Oh, good.
Because
I can't wait to see that.
That guy just hopes whatever he done works. He don't know, but he's going to send it just to see.
That's great. And then after that, in Class 3, what we got coming up, folks, is the Pro Street 2-wheel drive. So these trucks, when they say that they're Pro Street, can you drive them on the street?
Well, technically, yes, you could.
Oh, wow.
You could drive them on the street, but you see, there's some of the rules in them, and they have a 5200 Pro Street, and then they have a 5800 Super Street, or a Pro Stock. Now, there's a few rules in there that vary the difference in the classes. But as for, say, someone that didn't know, look at the trucks, they would think they was both in the same class. But there's some engine rules, there's some chassis rules, there's different things they can have in them trucks that make them in the different classes.
All right, so we've got somebody buckling into
Yep.
the Altered
Dylan.
Farm Tractor. So he's got his safety gear on.
Yes, ma'am.
It looks like he's got the... Nope, he just did that. He just pulled the weight out. Is that what he did? He got the slack out?
Just pull it slack out of the chain. Yes, ma'am.
So now what kind of tractor is this?
This is international. A lot of these internationals are real popular. These 1206s, 1066s, 1466s, 15s. They were real popular back in the days, and they make a lot of horsepower with these tractors with just a little bit of work.
So now, do you know Dylan?
You see his smoke right there, how blue it is?
Yes.
And see him watching that smoke?
Yes.
Now watch him. See how he's churning
So
it
as
up?
he's building his RPMs, he's watching the color of that smoke.
It's color of smoke, and what it's doing, it's injecting fuel into that motor, which is increasing the speed of that turbo. And the more that turbo, see, there he goes. There he goes. Now he's cooking. Now, did you see how his smoke never truly turned black?
You're right. The guy, I guess it was Ben Bray.
His smoke got very
His
black.
got very more of a darkish gray, I guess you
Yeah.
could say, maybe even black.
But his stayed real light gray.
And again, tell me that's a good thing?
Well, it could be. Depends on how he has his tractor set up. But most of the time you see it a little bit darker than that, because when it gets real gray like that, it means it's running out of fuel. So he might need to turn the fuel up just a little bit on that tractor, but that might be all the fuel he has.
So what was his time? Do you remember what his time was? Because he really went the distance as well.
Yes, ma'am.
So when they continue to keep going the distance, is there ever thought that there needs to be more weight on the sleds or anything like that?
It is. If they were to get at a point where they couldn't go and they had to actually flag them, they would reset the sled and they would add weight to the sled and possibly speed the sled up to make it stop them faster.
Yeah.
But I think they're stopping at a safe distance here.
I see.
So,
okay. All right. So it's all going well so far tonight.
Yes, ma'am.
So we've got a competitor coming, cream of the crop, Teddy Bronner. So he must be related to Dylan.
I think Dylan is the son of Teddy. I believe Teddy's the father.
Oh, really? Do you know where they're from?
I do not. They come to a lot of pulls, though.
They do.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so this is their cup of tea, or their cup of tractor, I guess
Yes,
you could say,
ma'am.
right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So how have they competed in the past? Anything you can tell us what we might expect from them?
Well, usually Dad has a little bit of advantage.
He does?
Yeah, he
Experience? Is that what gets him through?
Yes, ma'am. It ain't always bad to see gray in the hair,
Oh, okay.
because they've been doing it a little longer from time to time.
That silver brings them.
Yeah, they say the silver fox,
There you go.
the sly fox or whatever.
That's exactly right. Well, the tractor looks good. It's also
ma'am.
an international.
It is. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So I'm anxious to see if Teddy, the father of Dylan, can really cream of the crop it through to the end like his
And
son
I
did.
believe this is a 1206. They was real popular in this class, 1206s.
Now, did Dylan have a 1206 or not?
I don't know. I didn't get to see his, the number area. A lot of these internationals, they look a whole lot of same. They got a whole lot of similarities about them. You see the side shields.
Okay, so he's not looking at his smoke right now, but
No,
it looks
he's waiting for the gentleman to tell him his chain's tight. Now he goes to the smoke.
Okay.
See his hand throttle easing up. See
Yep.
the smoke slowly coming up. That is a 1466. That's a big tractor. Yep.
Let's see some black smoke.
Yeah, his is changing. I don't think Dad got it.
Well, guess what?
I
The
don't think he
silver in the
did.
hair did not do well. I
No.
think Dylan had a little bit of better run. We
Listen.
still want to give a shout out to Teddy that he gave it his good, and it did good
Oh, yeah.
well, right?
He did well, yeah. He had a little bounce to it. You see the tractor kind of give and take,
So
give and take.
tell me a little bit about the bounce. Walk me through that. What were we seeing?
So when them tractors when they're going down through there and they get to bouncing, you notice the front end comes off the ground. Well, that means the back tires are getting enough traction to lift the front end. And when it lifts it, it loses traction, it slams it back down. That makes the bounce.
So what would one do about that? Let's say if they had another run. What are they
he
going to have
could
to
move.
adjust?
He could move just a little bit of weight from the rear end up to the front end, or he might actually want to move some weight from the front end to the rear end to hold the front end up off the ground. And them two-wheelers and them tractors, there's a whole lot of strategizing goes on. It ain't just, you just don't bring a tractor out here and hook it to the sled and be like, hey, this is a pulling tractor. I mean, these guys spend hours and hours and countless of days in the shop and working on these tractors and figuring out how to get these tractors to do what they need them to do.
Wow. So do you think they work on them like, what's your routine like? Tell me that.
Well,
That's easier to ask the question.
So as of right now, my truck just made, now this is a 1006, this is a 1066. This is your Expedition. You notice he doesn't have a bar on it. He doesn't have a turnover bar. He doesn't have a power seat. So this is probably more of a farm stock tractor. So he's probably someone that's just starting to pull, and he's in a class that doesn't require those safety things. So he's just going to compete to see if his tractor does any good on the level that it's at.
So now, so this is, I'm not sure, this is not our exhibition run,
Yes,
is
ma'am,
it?
this is.
So one bad apple. This is the Dakota Wolford. Folks, this is where he's going to see what his tractor has, and as he continues to grow in this sport. But first he's got to kind of get a feel for it.
That's right.
What's it going to do for him,
Yes,
right?
ma'am. Yep.
Well, he looks relaxed.
Oh, yeah, he's chill right now. Yep.
So he's just starting out. Wonder what said to him, I want to try this, I want to do this.
He probably had a buddy doing it or a friend, and they said, I bet you couldn't do that. And he said, I bet I can.
Oh, well, we'll see if he does.
One of them hold my beer and watch kind of deals.
Yeah, here he goes. Oh.
Yeah. You see how much the difference in the speed in this tractor versus the other tractors?
So why is that? Because he's just giving it a test?
But no, he might run in a class. Some of these tractors pull in a farm stock class, and they can't go over a certain mile an hour.
Oh, but because it seemed like he didn't have the speed, he couldn't get it
That's
going
right.
and go to the end,
Yes,
right?
ma'am. You're not going to outpull that sled. So the best thing you can do is get your momentum up. Because if you're running 20 mile an hour and that sled trips, well, you got 20 mile an hour momentum if you can hold it to go further. If you're running 10 mile an hour and it trips, you don't have that extra 10 mile an hour momentum.
Well, it looked like he did fairly well.
He did.
I guess where I'm sitting and not having any experience is I thought that he would come out a little bit more aggressively, a little bit more power. Is that what he should have done? Or?
Well, it depends on his normal class. He might be trying something for his normal class and just wanting to see if it would hold that gear.
Oh, okay.
To see how fast that gear runs, because he might have a mile an hour limit on his normal class.
All right. So that was class 2, and so we're going to get ready now. You'll hear a lot of background noise. I think we're going to go to Backstage Pass with Dawson and Carolyn. Who you got for us?
And welcome back to Backstage Pass. We are here with a gorgeous mother-daughter duo. We have Miss Elite and Little Miss 2022. Tell me your name. And what's your name? Okay. Now, tell me, what does it mean to be the first mother-daughter duo? What do you think?
I think it's very special, and I just think it's a really good bond.
Yeah. Wonderful. What do you think?
So I was actually just speaking with Tiffany, and I was telling her I've competed on this stage for many years, so probably about 21 years or plus, and I never got the opportunity for Fairs to the Fair. It was always a dream of mine, but this was an even bigger dream, getting to do this with her and share the memories.
She's like your lucky charm.
Yes, for
This is
sure.
going to be a forever memory you guys can share.
She was actually number 3, and I have to share something. So when I was picking out her photogenic picture, I had took pictures of her myself, and I was like, what picture should I choose? And it was actually number 3. And she's like, Mom, that just happens to be my lucky number. And we won't tell you what happened the morning of. I can let her tell you. But number 3, yes, definitely lucky number 3.
Now, is there a favorite fair event that you all come to every year? Because I know you're frequent fair goers. Do you love an event at the fair?
So we love the races. My cousin Ashton actually races, and we come and support him. But we also love to support all the food vendors.
Of course.
Good time.
Well, congratulations, ladies. It's
Yes.
a wonderful time to be with you. Let's get back to more tractor pull.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Yeah, he will.
Okay, so we just had a visit, or, really Josh did, from his friend who he competed against
You see
with.
the young man and young lady walking across right there? That's Dustin and Deanna Means. They are the owners of Thumper, and she actually owns a truck called Warthog. And they had issues with that truck this morning trying to load it and realized the fuel pump was burned up on it, so they weren't able to bring it. Dustin just come up here and told me
Here they are.
congratulations
They're
on
in
my
the screen
win.
again.
Yeah, and he gave me congratulations on my win and told me that they busted something in Thumper.
Oh, so he's going to have to drive home.
He's taking the truck home to tear it down to see what's going on.
Oh, I hate that for them, but it's part of it, right?
Yes, ma'am. It's the game we play.
Well, let's talk a little bit about the part of this class. This is Class 3. It's the Pro Street, and it's two-wheel drives. And you told me earlier that this was a really good class. Tell me why.
This is a really interesting class. If you have any husbands and wives or boyfriends and girlfriends that are competitive, this would be y'all's class. This class it's got a good mix of Ford, Chevrolet, and Dodge. There's all three in this class. So if you're a Ford fan, this is your class. There's a few Ford trucks in this class that dominates. However, there is a Dodge in this truck that is not to be looked over. And there is a couple of Chevrolets in this class that are capable of winning any day of the night. But as far as competition, we actually have the #1 and #2 truck in points right now are Troy Gentry and Carla Turner, who's actually currently engaged to each other.
Oh, you were telling me about them earlier, where
Yes,
they
ma'am.
have this
They have
healthy.
They have this healthy, love to beat you but don't want to lose to you relationship.
There you go. That's a good way to put it. Okay. And now who's ahead in the points, him or her?
Carla is,
Yeah,
and this is
that's
her
what she said.
rookie year. This is her first year she's run this truck of hers. She has a really beautiful Ford, a black Ford truck that is called Late Night Hookers, and it's a beautiful and it runs good, and she's not afraid to send it.
So do they have different mechanics for the different trucks, or does he kind of take care of both of them for them?
Well, they actually have the same mechanic that builds the motors, and they take care of their own trucks. You'll see Carla in the shop right there with Mr. Troy working on her truck. So she gets out there to shop and she puts her time in just like he does.
Well, I think that's great. I think that's great that they share that.
Yeah, I mean, it's great.
Yeah.
My wife comes out and helps me a lot in the shop, but it's only because I make her, not because she's trying to build her own truck.
You make her?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
come on.
Yeah, I have to. I mean, there's some things I can't do, but I can't take my hood off by myself.
That's true.
So,
Okay.
I mean, it's just little stuff. Like, when I adjust my clutch and stuff, I have to have somebody push the clutch while I'm underneath the truck and adjust it.
Oh, I
so
can
she
see
has to do that.
Yeah, okay. I would be afraid I'd tear it up, something up, but.
Oh, no, we ain't gonna tear nothing up. All right, so this is Bad to the Bone. This is Andrew Savage. Now, they live over close to Tompkinsville, Kentucky. Him and his wife have a brand new little baby right there on the bottom of the screen.
I
You'll
see that.
That's Andrew's wife and their little girl. And she has a head full of hair.
She get that from mom and dad.
I don't know, but that's the only baby I've ever seen in my life that was born with a mullet. She has a head full of hair. This is a really good running Ford truck. Andrew and them 2 weeks ago went to truck pull in Tompkinsville, Kentucky, their hometown. Had some bad luck. Messed up a motor. They went home on Friday night, pulled the motor out, put their spare motor back in it, and was at a truck pull on Lafayette, Tennessee on Saturday night.
Really?
It's devotion.
Quick turnaround, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so tell me what he's doing now. He's raising his RPMs?
He's getting, yes, ma'am. You hear the motor change sounds. And he's leaving, and he's letting out of it. Now he's getting back in it.
All right, it's bouncing a little bit.
A little bit on the front end, that's okay. That's a good pull. It'd be interesting to see if Andrew keeps that or not.
So that is a good pull. They don't usually go all the way to the end.
Sometimes they do. It just depends on the track. This track right here, it's a give and take track, and sometimes you can give it a little more power than it can take.
So now, I noticed you said that at another time but there was a little bounce to the front. Should the weight have been more evenly distributed?
He might have wished he'd have put a little more weight on the back, and he might drop that pull and do a little weight moving. He might take some of that weight out. He's got it under the hood and put on the back end. So right now, Andrew's in a tough spot. And right now he's thinking, all right, I made a good pass. My truck's hot now. I made a pass on my truck. Do I want to drop this, rearrange some weight, and then come back? Or do I just want to hope this is good enough and play my cards?
Oh, okay. So what you're saying is he can keep this time and hope that it holds, or if he wants to try to take a second chance at it. But one of the things he needs to consider is his truck has already gotten hot.
Yes, ma'am. That motor's hot right now.
How long does it take for that motor to cool down?
It takes a pretty good bit.
Does it?
Yes, ma'am. And these motors that people like himself and myself, we build these motors, and these motors are built to an extreme where there's only a certain number of passes that is safe for this motor. Now, normally when you build one of these motors, you're looking at 25 to maybe 30 max passes. So we're late in the season right now. If Andrews dropped several of these pulls and he put 2 passes on his motor at one night, he might be close to that 30 pass mark.
So any idea what you think he'll do?
Well, he's talking about it. They're talking about the sled. And there's some other pullers standing up there with him right now. The two-wheel drives that's discussing the sled. So they're debating right now whether the sled should be lightened up or whether it should be left set.
So is it just kind of like a call that you make just out of the more time you're
around? It's a feel, yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
It's a feel. And the sled is going to be reset.
So he's going to go
He's going to have to do another one, yes, ma'am. Now, when they called for that sled to be reset, they actually took the decision out of Andrew's hands because now he has to pull again.
Oh,
because
so it wasn't his
reset
choice.
The sled. That's right.
Okay, so anytime they reset it, regardless of that truck being hot or not, he's got to give it another go.
Now he'll go back there and he'll have enough time. There's 8 trucks in this class. He should have enough time in between this and in the end to get that truck cooled down. However, he did just put a really good pass on his truck, and that takes a pass off of that motor. So all them parts is going to have to do all that again.
I see what you're saying. Gosh, there's a lot to go into. There is a little bit of strategy to this,
yes,
is not, but he didn't have any choice.
Nope.
If it had been his choice to call it, he may not have pulled it again.
Yep, because he made a good pass. The truck lifted the front end off the ground a little bit. It didn't really have no hobbles in it, you know, and it sounded good coming down through there.
So what year truck is this?
That truck, I believe, is a 70s model. 74, 75, around that area. Now, him and his father built that truck, and his dad pulls a lot. And there's his little girl and his wife right
His
there.
wife is pulling him back there,
yes,
right?
Yes, ma'am. That's his little girl right there. She's riding shotgun on Mama's tag-along. And that little girl, she loves truck pulling. The sounds don't bother her. The motors don't bother her, but when Miss Daly was pregnant, she was at the pulls, all, you know, being pregnant and stuff, and that baby's heard the sounds all of her knowing.
Okay, so now he's pulling off and going to maybe do some adjustment in the weights.
You see, they took the camera off of it. He might not want them seeing what he's going to do.
Oh, well, we're back on it. We're going to, okay. So how does that work?
He's going to transfer some weights, what he's going to do. So I don't know if he might add some weight to that side, and he might move it over to the other side. He's definitely going to add weight, looks like.
So that just comes with experience. You learn how to kind of do that. And
yes, ma'am.
And I guess what you said a little bit ago about it's a feel. So you just get a feel of how the truck runs. It's just like the car that you drive to work every day. Sometimes when something's not right, you just know it.
You just know it. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
It's called, in us drivers, we call it a feel.
Yeah.
Now, a lot of drivers run with a hydraulic clutch setup on their trucks. These clutches we run are extremely hard to push, and they run with hydraulic because it makes it easier for them to push the clutch in. Myself, I do not run a hydraulic clutch. I run a manual push clutch. The reason is I can feel that clutch, and I can tell you when it's fully engaged, and I can feel my truck respond to what's going on to that clutch.
So that's a preference for you, right?
Yes, ma'am.
But you could do the hydraulic clutch. Well, this is interesting, but let's see what's interesting happening to Backstage Pass.
Welcome back to Backstage Pass. We are joined by Bella Stevens. Bella, what is your title?
I am Putnam County Fair Princess 2022.
And how did you prepare for the role?
I used to practice in my garage a lot. I would draw at the stage and go from there.
Fun.
Do you have a favorite fair memory that you share with your family or friends that you love?
We used to ride the Ferris wheel a lot, and me and my family would, just hang out up there, and it was really nice.
Well, it's so nice to meet you. What a gorgeous princess you are. All right, I think we've got one more person about to run. Let's go see some tractors.
Yeah.
All right, we are back at the Putnam County Fair, and that is the truck and tractor pull, and it has started out to be a great evening. We're so excited. With me is my good friend, getting to be as the night goes on, Josh Reed.
Yes,
Josh,
ma'am.
thank you so much for being here tonight. You have just done a great job telling us a little bit of what to expect. Now, this is Troublemaker.
This is Troublemaker. Now, this truck right here is a very good running truck. And he's liable to slip in there and win one anytime. Now, you see him ease, you hear the motor die down, and you hear it accelerate back. He's trying to get that truck to get some traction.
Well, it looks good to me. What do you think?
Look real good. And you notice that truck kind of front end come up, come back down, come up, come back down. Now, that's when that front end comes up, them tires are hooked. They're dead hooked. When they free up and they loosen up, it lets that front end slam back down. Now, them guys want to raise them front tires about 4 to 6 inches off the ground and just hold them there.
So they do want the front end to raise
Yes,
up.
ma'am, they sure do.
Huh.
But they don't want it to come way high because it lowers the hitch on the back.
And they
takes
don't
the
want it
pressure off.
bobbing, right? They
That's
don't want
right.
it bobbing.
Yes, ma'am.
They just want to try to get those two front tires up and for them to stay up during the pull.
Now, Jared has a very interesting decision now because they reset the sled after Mr. Andrew.
So could
now
it be
he has
too
to
light?
decide if he wants to keep that pull or drop it and come back at the end of the pass.
Oh.
Now,
But he did so well.
He did do really well. But when he looks at that list, he's seeing the same list you and I are. He's thinking, man, I got Late Night Hooker back there. I got Livewire. I've got True Grit. Spooks back there, Split Decision. There's some really good trucks behind me.
And how much time does he have to make that decision?
About 30 seconds.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. And see, he's looking at a video now, and he's, let me see what I want to do.
So who did the video for him?
Probably the fella right there on the right.
And that's probably somebody from his team?
Yes, ma'am. Probably. He's pulling
So he's trying to decide, when he's looking at that video, what's he trying to decide?
He's trying to see, hey, did I get all of that I can get? Or do I have more left on the table? And like I said, with us, with my class, it's very easy because we put all of our weight in the weight box. We drive out of there. We ease our trucks out of there. We send them. And, when they sit down on a big end, if it don't wobble, it don't bounce, it's smooth, and it turns good RPMs, that's all you got. So if that's all you got, that's simple. But these guys, they might be like, hey, I could move a weight here or put a weight there, and maybe I could leave a little less RPMs and, get that truck to hook. They got a lot more that goes into their formula of how they get to the win than we do.
So does it ever come up? Look, if everybody just feed babies out
They
there.
got two
They're
of 'em.
saying they do.
Oh, poor things.
Huh?
I had a
Well,
rough time
but they're
just feeding
still here
one
at the
every night.
fair. Look at that.
And
Everybody,
them-
if you're not at the fair, come on out.
They're loving it.
Yes. So could it have been that maybe there was another weight on that sled? Is that the reason why?
Well, it's a lot of difference, and they're discussing it right now. And some tracks are really hard. Look at that right there now. He done got his earbuds back on.
I don't think we had those when I was little.
I know I didn't. My mom and dad just said, put your fingers in your ears, boy.
There you go.
And we didn't want to do that because if we'd done that, we couldn't hear the trucks then.
I don't know how you cannot hear them because they're loud, but we love it, folks. You need to be here experiencing this live event. So what's happening now? Is this going to be Late Night Hooker, as you said?
Yes, ma'am, and it seems to be. Now, I don't know if he has kept that pull or not.
Well, what did we find out? Did he keep the? Yeah, we don't know.
We don't know, ma'am. Oh, she's got ice cream.
I think that's Pelican's
Pelican
snowballs.
snowballs.
Yeah. That looks really good. We've got so many great things here at the fair.
Josie Wells was here with me. She'd be over there getting her one. It'd be rainbow colored too.
Aw.
They still haven't moved the sled. The drivers are having a discussion. They've called a drivers meeting back here, and what they're doing is the sled must run like a first gear or a second gear with the first guy, and they bump the sled down a gear, so the sled, the way it needs to be, is in between gears, and they can't do that. So they're talking to the class right now to see what they want to do. If they want to speed the sled up, maybe shorten the distances, or where do they want to run it with what they got.
So how much does this fall on the gentleman that's driving this sled?
Well, some of it he can't help. Every one of these sleds are different, and of course the sled is designed. It's got V-bars on the bottom of the sled, and it's designed to, stop them. And some of the tracks, it doesn't get a good traction hold, to stop it. If the trucks can't get good traction, sometimes the sleds can't get good traction to wowing the trucks, So, they're kind of in a pickle, because they're at the mercy of the ground.
Well, we've just had 2 runs, and then they reset it. Now they have had this big meeting. So, to me,
and Troublemaker is backing up, so that tells me he's dropped that.
Okay.
And he is going to pull again.
So he will pull again.
So
that's 2 of them that they say they're going to pull again because, well, one of them had no choice because they had to reset the sled.
That's right. Yes, ma'am.
But this time he has the choice, to the best of our knowledge, right?
So. And this gentleman has been pulling for a long time. He knows this truck, probably like the back of his hand, He probably knows this truck better than most people know the person they're married to. Because I guarantee you, he spends more time with this truck, getting this truck to where it's at, than most people do building a relationship. Because this is a relationship, him and this truck.
Wow.
And so he knows that truck would do better on this track with this change or this change. And you notice Mr. Jerry got out of his truck and walked up here to watch the next truck.
To see how they did.
That's right.
And he's going to see about the weight distribution. He can kind of tell a little bit about that.
You might see him sneak back over there and kind of move a weight and take a weight out. And he might, sneak under the hood and pull one of them weights out and put it over on this side.
Oh, I do hope we get that on camera.
Did you see that guy tying that strap there? That's Mr. Andrew Savage. That was the very first truck. You see the weights laying beside his truck?
Yes.
He's transferring some weights.
But now he went back after he came back to this meeting. Is that correct?
That's right.
Which is all legal. That's what they should be doing. That's part of the strategizing.
So here goes to that interesting relationship that we were speaking about earlier. This is Carla Turner and Late Night Hooker. This truck right here is a rookie truck. This is the first year she has campaigned this truck on this circuit. Now, if you look, there's a gentleman driving that truck right now. That is her fiance, Troy Gentry. He also pulls a truck in this class. So you see him getting his fiance's truck backed up straight to the sled and getting everything dialed in for his fiance.
So does she not have to back it up?
No, she doesn't have to. A lot of times Carla does do her own backing and stuff. But Carla is standing over on the side right there. But Carla does double duties at truck pulls. She is also the secretary that does all the paperwork and the distance and everything. So she's been up here doing our secretary work. Troy's getting the truck set up for her. And there's Miss Gentry, Miss Carla right there. Now she'll come over and pull the truck after he's got everything set up, because she's been up here trying to maintain the secretary duties.
And is that at every place she goes, or
Yes,
just
ma'am.
here?
Yeah, every place.
Oh, everywhere.
Yes,
okay.
ma'am.
All right, here we go. Next
Yeah.
up, your points leader, Carla
No.
Turner, driving Late Night Hooker.
This truck right here really comes on good.
Well, they've kind of tricked it out a little bit. They've got some light in
Oh
it
yeah,
there.
Carla's got it pimped out now. Yeah, she's all about it. She's got some shoes, y'all, that are like neon green. I mean, they are for wrestling.
Goes
Big
with
picture
that
out of
helmet of
bottom.
yours, it sounds like.
Yeah, that helmet's pretty epic.
And you think her shoes are as well, right?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I don't know if she's got them on tonight. Most times she does. I'm talking about they're styling and profiling. And see, Troy's helping her get it geared. He's discussing with her, and he's telling her, you know, hey, this, this, this. Now, on the plus side, Troy knows all the ins and outs on this truck. He knows how this truck hooks. He knows where the weights are at on this truck, and he knows how it responds to these weights. Now, Troy is not pulled yet. So he can see by what Carla's truck does, how it was weighted. He'll know how his truck is going to perform. So he might go back there and change some weights on his truck to how this truck performs.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, this is just a little bit of things going on here.
She ain't scared of it either. Oh, Carla will bend this thing over.
Okay, so she's getting her RPMs up.
Yeah.
Here we go.
You hear that ain't come up yet. Now it comes up. Clutch spark there. She's still on the clutch. Wow, that's a good
Miss
pass.
Carla did well. So what was the sparks underneath the truck as it first started to take off up there?
327.12 Miss Carla goes. So that is our first official pass. Now the sparks that you've seen underneath of it, these trucks run, some of them run a 2-disc clutch, some of them run a 3-disc clutch, and it's called a slipper clutch. It allows them to hold that clutch and not fully engage that clutch until they want to. So that way, if that truck is not hooking and it's not settling in, even though their motor is turning 9,000 RPMs, they might be only getting 6,000 RPMs to the ground.
All right, we're going to backstage pass with Dawson Davis and Carolyn North.
Welcome back to Backstage Pass at the 96th Annual Putnam County Fair. We're joined by the wonderful official fair photographer, Sandy Miller. Hey.
Hi, how you doing?
We're wonderful. So tell us, what does it take to be the fair's photographer?
Well, I don't know if I'm the official photographer, but I'm
You
here all
are.
the time. And John's constantly calling me, asking for different things. Did you shoot this? Did you shoot that? And
John,
then I
who
send
you
him
met
to
earlier tonight.
Yes, president.
Yes.
What are some of the things you've been capturing this week?
Everything from kid pictures today to the carnival. I also manage the cultural arts for the photography area, and lots of people shots.
Little bit of everything.
Yep.
Is there something that is your favorite thing to photograph at the fair?
I think it's the animals.
Yeah.
The only thing I don't like is the odd lighting, and that comes into play.
Definitely. Well, you're just a major asset to the fair because we have so many pictures, and if you see any photos on Facebook, they're probably Sandy's. Make sure you tune in. We're going to go to a break. Thank you.
The Realty firm has been serving the buyers and sellers of the Upper Cumberland since 2012 with locations in Cookville, Byrdstown, Livingston, Crossville, and Gainsborough. The full-service realty firm ensures that each client is educated, motivated, and updated, creating an experience, not a transaction.
Southern Landscape Supply offers a large variety of outdoor power equipment, including zero-turn mowers, bad boy tractors, specialty turf equipment, turf and landscape supplies, parts, and services. Since 2004, Southern Landscape Supply has been providing the Upper Cumberland with their outdoor power equipment needs.
All right, here you go. Here's your Dodge for your Dodge people.
This is a Dodge. Okay,
is a
so
Dodge.
this is True Grit with Dallas Carnahan. Is that how you say
Carnahan,
it?
yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Him and his brother both pulled Dodges. They're Dodge family. Boy.
Well, I'm telling you, I thought he was going to the midway.
328. That's your new leader right now. He
Okay.
passed Miss Carla. Now that's very important in the points race because every position between her and Troy is points that she may lose or may get.
So So do you get points if you're like in the first, second, or third, or is it just first place only? How does that work?
No, ma'am. They get points.
We got a replay of this great run.
Yeah, you
now
see
look
how
how high his truck is.
Yep, and see how high it's bouncing off the ground? When that truck goes up to knee high, that front tire is knee high, he's losing so much hitch height that it's hurting him.
So his run could have probably been stronger if he had
Yes,
not
ma'am.
been so high.
Yeah.
Okay.
But he had a happy medium though. I mean, it kind of come up, but it come back down, you know.
And again, that has to do with the weight a little
Yes,
bit?
ma'am. That's the weight transfer and how he's got his weight, because maybe he should, you know, he might have had 1,000 pounds on his front and, you know, more on his rear, but he might have took another 100 or so off the rear, put it on the front. It might have held it down, but then again, he might have lost some traction in that. So these guys have really got this down to a science, how they get these trucks to hook.
And I guess each time it changes depending on the track somewhat. Was that a yes or no?
Yeah, well, we come to the track here, and, you know, this track right here is kind of loose. Well, when I say loose, it means it's kind of sandy, and the trucks are not really fully getting all their power to the ground. Now, we might go somewhere where the track's real tight, and the trucks are really hooking, and they might not need to put any weight on the rear end. Them front ends raised right up there, you know. So.
Well, I just think, I find it kind of the strategy part of it very interesting.
Yes, ma'am.
I mean, you just never know. So when you arrive, how do you know the track, as you talked about it, the conditions?
A lot of times you don't see a lot of this, but whenever you and I was up here and we was doing our sound checks and whatnot, we was going through what we had to do. Did you notice there was a lot of gentlemen and ladies out walking the track? They have these little sticks, and they'll stick them in the ground. Well, they'll take that stick and they can feel how soft that track is. They can find the hard spots in it. They can find the soft spots, and they'll see where they want to go. And they'll be kicking the track. You know, you can tell by how your shoe feels on the bottom of your shoe, how it feels on that dirt, how that track is going to respond to your truck.
Really?
Oh, yeah. These guys are like mad scientists out here. You know, I'm surprised I ain't seen some chemistry sets out here, you know, something going on before.
Okay, so this person, which they have great confidence in, goes out there, kind of tests how the track is. Do they go out there and test? Do you do any test runs at all? I can't imagine you do.
No.
All right, we're going to go to Backstage Pass and see what's going on with Dawson and Caroline.
Welcome back to Backstage Pass. We are joined by Matt Swallows of Swallows Insurance, one of our sponsors for tonight. Matt, what makes the fair so special to you?
I enjoyed it as a kid. I'm from Overton County, so I'd go to the Overton County Fair, but I enjoyed it as a kid, and as I've gotten older, of course, I have kids.
Yeah.
They love it, and I found out by bringing them, I'm still a kid too, but like we said before, I think every county fair is kind of a big slice of Americana, right?
Oh, yes.
It's so American. I mean, apple pie, baseball, but the county fairs, I just think they're awesome. I mean, part of me wouldn't mind touring the country and going to see all these different fairs, in different parts of the country. I think it'd be great.
Oh, well, take us with you.
Yeah, it would be a lot of fun. I mean, but I'm a kid at heart, so.
How do you think the fair has affected Putnam County?
Well, I mean, it is the #1 fair in the state.
It
Is
is.
that right?
We're the
Champion of champions.
And I think it set a record Saturday or Sunday night,
Yes.
maybe, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, it draws people in. I mean, it's just like everything else. Interstate Drive, all the shopping. I mean, the fair draws people in from all the counties around. So it's just a huge draw. It's unique. It has a great turnout. I don't know if they can hear us right now.
We're not. Oh, they cut away.
Now that right there was Troy Gentry. You see Miss Carla standing
Okay, his
right
was
there?
what, 326? So what does that mean?
That means Carla has got bragging rights on Troy tonight.
Oh, so he didn't do as well. What was
No.
hers again? Do we remember?
Hers is 327.
And he got 326.
326. So Miss Carla has got bragging rights in the Gentry household tonight.
Okay.
And I promise you,
We're going to replay her pull. Tell me
Troy
what was
made a
going
really
right
good
about
pass
this.
too. His front end got a little bobbly right here. It's perfect right there, but right around in this mark, you see it starting to get real high, really high. So
Boy,
that
it
track tells
bounced
me
a lot,
that right
didn't
around
it?
that 200-foot mark, them trucks are starting to get a hold.
So what you were telling me earlier, when it got so high, you really begin to lose.
Yes, ma'am. You lose your hitch height.
Okay, so we have the pleasure of Matt Swallows with Dawson and Caroline. So let's go back there and see what's happening.
Welcome back to Backstage Pass. Sorry we got cut off a little bit.
We had a brief interruption, but we're back with Matt Swallows, and we just wanted to say thank you for watching Backstage Pass. Thank you for being here.
I have no idea what y'all are saying. I can't hear anything anymore.
It's a little hard, a little fast and furious over here.
But we survived, and keep
Yes.
watching for
Yes.
more fun attractions. We'll see y'all in a minute.
See ya.
They gotta go. They gotta go.
Yeah. All right, well, to our left, we have a GOAT, but somebody in this class is going to be a GOAT of all times. You know, I wanted to ask you to explain to me so I could learn, and maybe the viewers at home know, maybe they don't, but you keep talking a little bit about when they get real high, that they lose hitch height.
Yes, ma'am.
Tell me what that means.
So in each class, we have a designated hitch height, which is the hitch of your truck where your sled is attached to your truck. If they show the rear of the truck again, I'll be able to explain it to you a lot better. But there's a hitch, and they're adjustable hitches, and we're allowed to move them up and down. Now, these trucks are a 30-inch hitch height, which means from the ground to the top of their hitch cannot exceed 30 inches.
Okay.
So when that truck, of course the rear axle is a pivot, when that truck, that front end comes up, it lowers the hitch height. So they want to keep that hitch height right around 28, 26. That's a magic number.
Oh, so you're saying it's getting higher than that, and that really is affecting that run.
When it gets way up there, that hitch height will drop. You see the hitch right there? That hitch will really drop. And when it gets below like 26, 25 inches, that chain is letting that sled, and that's not pulling up on the sled anymore. So it's not pulling down the truck. That's why them trucks fall back down so hard.
Okay.
Now here, this is Spook. Now,
Spooks looks like his truck has seen a lot of spooky things.
There's a very good friend of ours.
Is that Jordan? What's Jordan's last name? Forge?
I have no idea.
It's F-R-O-E-D-G-E, I think, Forge, but I'm not sure. But anyway.
We'll go with that.
Okay,
so,
sounds good.
A good friend of mine back in Springfield that pulls antique tractors with my brother, he was a fierce competitor, very fierce, and was very known for winning. And his name was Jimmy Murphy. Now, he told my brother one time, Pretty does not win truck pulls. This fella right here has took that advice to heart. So instead of spending his money on beauty and looks, he has decided to spend it elsewhere. So.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
He's
so
more
it's not
worried
about
about
a new
the
paint
horsepower.
job.
That's right. He don't care
doesn't
if
mind seeing the dents.
That's right.
He would rather be in the motor or whatever.
That's right.
So is he starting well? Can you tell?
Sounds like he's pretty on it pretty hard. You see how the truck's just lifting off the front tire?
Did not go as far as
No,
others.
ma'am, he did not. He might have had a little bit of low gear there, but you know, sometimes lower is not slower. You know, even though your truck's not going as fast, it gives it a chance to get the tires catch up to the sled, so to say.
So we're going to replay it. So talk me through what you're seeing and when you can tell things
Right
are
here,
going.
He's going real well. You see how his front tires are just barely bouncing off the ground? That lets you know that he's got that truck weighted pretty well. So that way all the weight is getting to them rear tires. Now right here, he just runs out of momentum.
So what happened? That was just all it had?
That's all he had. Sometimes you just don't got enough. My banking account looks like that a whole lot when I try to buy truck parts.
I bet it does in this day and time.
Yes, ma'am. I want to have enough, but I'm just like, man, I'm going to have to work a little overtime to get this part.
That's right. Boy, look at the great crowd we have in the
We got an
stands
awesome
tonight.
crowd here tonight. They're really, really interactive and really vocal. Whenever they see something they like, they really let you know.
But this is a really fun event. It's loud and proud, but it really does well.
This is what we call rednecks with paychecks.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, because, I mean, who in their right mind that's not a redneck has ever said, I bet my truck could pull that farther than your truck can?
Is that how you think all this started?
I'll guarantee it.
You think so?
That's how I got started. Bragging rights. Men are full of brag. And if, the Ford, the Chevy, and the Dodge, probably 3 buddies sitting around there.
Oh my gosh, did you hear that? There's a Billy Goat at Backstage Pass. So let's see what Dawson and Caroline are doing.
Welcome back to Backstage Pass. We are joined by a very special guest, Petey.
Petey the Goat.
Petey the Goat. Petey, how's it going tonight? He says real great.
He says so great.
He's having the best time with the tractors. He loves
Yes.
engines.
He loves it.
He loves my Crocs. Y'all get to finally see the shoes I've been wearing all week.
Petey is a La Mancha goat, which means he doesn't have ears. So he's already thinner than all of us.
And he can't hear the very loud trucks, hopefully.
Petey, we love you lots. Thank you for being here.
Thank you so much for coming on, Petey. Any closing statements?
I think he said bye-bye black sheep.
Okay.
We're back into the truck. Here we go.
Back to the tractors.
Okay, so we have another brother. So
This is
another
another
family.
Carnahan. This is the other Dodge.
Okay, so this is split decision. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And so we're anxious to see what happens here.
Now, see, his brother pulled, and I guarantee you they shared information. I believe his brother is actually winning it.
So that was good.
That's good. That's a really good
That
pass.
is good.
3-3-2, new leader.
He is the new leader.
So he watched his brother, Dallas Carnahan, go down through there in true grit. And he knew what his
watch
brother
it. Tell me what he's doing good here.
You see how his front end's just barely leaving the ground?
Yeah.
And the whole pass, his front end never gets over 6 or 8 inches off the ground. Now that tells me that he's got that truck heavy in the front, so that way it doesn't rear up and lose that hitch height.
Just everything went well on that run,
Everything went
right?
well. Yeah, he made a really good pass. Really good pass.
Good, good. I wonder how his brother thinks about that.
I'm sure there'll be some smack talking back there.
They'll be talking a little bit.
That's why my brother and I don't pull in the same class.
Now, why is that? Y'all play right,
Well,
don't you?
No, not really. We raced dirt bikes growing up. And we about killed each other racing dirt bikes because I'm not real fond on losing, and he's not either. So it was either go or wreck.
So you talk about good sportsmanship here, and maybe that not be a gift of yours. But what do you do with your other your competitors? Do you? How does it work?
Me and Dustin Means, the gentleman that pulled tonight, that broke. Him and I are actually really good friends. We have some other friends, really good friends. Corey Thomas, a young lady that pulls a truck called Youngblood. Her father and I, we're real close. We speak almost daily. There's several of us competitors. Now, we'll be best friends. We'll go eat. We'll go out to eat. We'll hang out with each other. We go to each other's kids' birthday parties. But when we hook to them sleds, it's every man for themselves.
Let's go back and see what Mark Wilson has to tell us at Backstage Pass.
Welcome back to Backstage Pass. We're here with Tennessee Tech Athletic Director Mark Wilson. Hello.
Hello. Happy to be with y'all today.
Yay. Tell us, what does it take to be the athletic director for Tennessee Tech?
Well, it is a lot, but I'm honored to serve our alumni and our students, and I'm just so blessed. This is my 19th year at Tennessee Tech, and it's going to be a really great year for all of our sports teams.
And we have some great teams at Tech.
We do have great teams at Tech, and of course soccer's already started off. They had an exhibition game on last weekend and won that at North Alabama. They play ATSU an exhibition game this Sunday.
Wonderful.
What are you most excited about this year?
Golden Eagle football team. The football team, they're going to have a really good year. They open up at Kansas on September 2nd, Friday, September 2nd. Season tickets are on sale now. Hey, all these people at the Putnam County Fair, you all tuning in, make sure you just come out and cheer them on because it's great hometown entertainment.
Absolutely.
Mark your calendars, y'all.
Thank you for being here, Mark. Give him a wings
Thank
up.
you.
Thank you,
Wings
guys.
up.
Wings up.
Name with Jerry Blythe, who's backing up.
Now this truck has won several events this year.
Has it?
Yes, ma'am. Like I said, this class right here is dominated by a couple of Ford trucks. But like I was telling you, I guarantee you, truck pulling got started because there were some buddies, good friends, and one of them might have had a Ford. One of them might have had a Chevrolet, and one of them might have had a Dodge. And they said, hey, I believe my Dodge, I'll pull that sled further than your Ford.
And there was birth,
There was
this
birth.
wonderful sport we all enjoy today.
That's right. Rednecks with paychecks.
Yeah. White Lightning makes me think of Olivia Newton-John, Grease movie, and, you know, we just, in the entertainment world, she passed away this weekend. So
Yes,
I hope the White Lightning does well for her. So he's taking that slack out. Here we go.
Yeah, here we go. Here, let off that trunk, let it get some traction.
Well, he gave it a good run, but you talked to me, 322.
Yeah, see, that front end got real high, and he lost some of that hitch height.
Yep.
When I think of White Lightning, I think of moonshine.
Do you really?
That's what it's called, White Lightning.
Oh, we're going to
Yeah.
watch. Walk us through it.
So he's doing really well right there. And see, watch, right around this 200-foot mark, that front end starts getting real high in the air. And when it gets real high in the air, you notice there's a lot of dirt comes off them tires.
Oh, I see that,
He
yeah.
loses his traction.
So from then, it's over with, right?
It's over, yep. Once you lose that traction, it's a done deal. Because once that sled, now us pullers, we call that box right there in front of the sled driver, we call that the monkey. And once it gets up on your back, this thing's heavy. So once that monkey gets up on you like that, and you lose traction, you're done. 'Cause it slows your
Are
momentum.
you talking about that little square-like thing in the front? That's the bucket?
That is the weight. It holds the weight, and there's several thousand pounds of weight in there. And it slides up. It's the transfer box is technically what it's called. On us rednecks, we call it the monkey.
Okay.
And once the monkey gets up on your back, it's heavy. Once that sled gets all the way up to the front, that sled's heavy.
Wow.
So it looks like to me we're going back to bad to the bone to Andrew Savage.
Okay, so this was the young man. Let's just, if you weren't watching, he had a pull, and it was reset.
The sled was reset.
The
yes, ma'am.
sled was reset, so he had no other choice but to make a second run.
That's right. Yes,
Some of the things that we talked about was, you know, he's made that one run already. The motor was going to be a little bit more heated, even though it may have time to cool off. The advantage is he did have a chance from where I was sitting is to maybe look and adjust the weights.
Oh yeah, I'm sure a lot of y'all viewers paid attention. He done a lot of changes on this truck in that time that he was allowed. He maybe moved some weights around. He did a little air tire change. Andrew's been pulling this truck a long time. He knows what this truck does and doesn't like. So he felt something on that first pass. And he said, look here, this is what my old girl needs. So he went and talked to it and had a conversation, and they made some changes in her.
So we're going to do it and bad to the bone.
Yep, we're fixing to send her. Andrew, he will send her.
And you said he's been kind of successful in a couple of these, right?
Yes, ma'am. I think they've won that points a couple of times out of that truck. That truck's real competitive. You'll see that truck in several different organizations. They campaign that truck all over in Middle Tennessee and Kentucky.
And is this something you do every weekend, or is it every other weekend?
Well, not per se every weekend, but most of the weekends in the summer we spend a lot of time. You know, this is a very, very family oriented. You know, it's a great atmosphere for kids. He didn't waste no time getting on it there. See, that front end just barely bouncing. Oh, Andrew's all over him.
Well, it looked like it might be a better run. What was it?
It was a pretty good run, but he got a little high right there at the end. 318. That's not good enough to take the lead, but he's in there.
Well, we got another look at it, thanks to our replay.
His front end, you see that front driver tire is just barely bouncing. And right around in this 200-foot mark, that track seems to be getting better, and every one of these trucks are really rearing up right there around that 200 foot.
It does seem like the last couple of trucks right there at that 200 mark, as you said, they beginning to raise up. I just felt like that maybe he didn't start out as fast as some of the other ones.
Well, if you notice, his truck really accelerated off. You could hear the truck really come up on the RPMs. He left the line real hard. Now, I'm not for sure if Andrew's running his good motor, because he did have some motor issues a couple weeks ago. That might be running, he might be running his backup motor and have to get on it like that because it doesn't have enough horsepower to come up at the end.
It's a good thing. So I think
we're going now. We're going back to the troublemaker. This is the guy that was the first pull and he dropped it. Remember they had to meet here?
Oh, I remember.
Yep.
Yes.
So remember he also had a chance to transfer some weights around.
And he did make the chance. It
Yeah.
wasn't because
he
of
made the choice. Yes, he did.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
this
Because
is his choice to pull again.
All right.
This is not a reset sled. This is I think I got more in my truck than what was left on the table.
okay. And could it have been that he thought something was wrong with the weights as well?
He might have. If you remember, around that 200, he got real high in the front end, and he might have wanted to move some weights and transfer some stuff around.
Okay.
This is a really good-looking, good-running Ford truck. Now, I think this is an early 60s model. So they take a lot of pride in this old truck. They really take care of it, keep it clean. And you know, there's a lot of work goes into these trucks to make them look that good. Because I promise you, there ain't many that year model trucks sitting around that's in that good of shape.
So he has something on his hood.
The hood scoop in between the mufflers?
Yeah.
There's a rule that says that your carburetor cannot exceed the hood. So if you have a big high-rise intake on your motor and your carburetor exceeds your hood, they'll put a hood scoop on it like that. So that way that's part of your hood now. So your carburetor doesn't exceed your hood.
Oh, okay. That was kind of pretty smart.
Yep. There's a lot of stuff that, you know, it's not really breaking the rule, but it is flexing it pretty well. So a lot of these guys get that rule book and they don't want to do anything that is not legal. Because if let's say Mr. Troublemaker wins this pool and another truck thinks he's cheating, he can protest that truck and they'll tear that truck apart.
Oh gosh, really?
Oh yeah. But if he's not cheating, then the other person has to get $500 or so. But if he is cheating, he loses all of his points. So these guys don't want to be cheating at all. However, they want to be, whatever their truck is, they want to be pushing the edge of the rule, right on the edge of it. The gray area, so to say.
A little bit of the gray area, huh? Yeah. Okay, so we've got some more fun interviews taking place. Backstage Pass, Dawson, Caroline.
Welcome back to Backstage Pass. We are joined by Susan Richardson. She is running one of the many fabulous exhibits here at the fair. Can you tell us a little bit about your exhibit?
Well, about 3 years ago, I was asked to do spinning down at the cabin.
Don't forget to visit BT.
I noticed that there wasn't a lot in the cabin, and we wanted to show what life was like when our dear fair president's grandmother was alive and the things that they did. So I started bringing in my collection, the different things that I had, and I've just been building on it since then. So we've got a lot of non-electric, pre-electric, and pre-running water items down there. And it's a joy to tell the children just what people experienced for so many years of our history.
Why do you think a county fair is important to the community?
A county fair gets to show, well, it allows our community to show the best of what it has.
Yeah.
We get to allow children to expand their horizons, to see different things that they might like to do or they might like to be. And it's just a wonderful opportunity to get out for self-expression and for just letting people see what there is available in our community.
Absolutely. Spoken like a true advocate. Thank you so much for being here. Let's get back to more tractor pull.
Okay, we're so glad to be back. Now, when we left off, we're going back to Troublemaker, who's Jared Blythe, and he is doing a second pass because he had the chance to do so, because he feels like he's got more in that truck.
He feels like that truck is better than what he left.
Okay, so that's where we are in the recap.
That's where we're at.
And again, he's the only one, I think, that had that choice in this class. Is that correct?
That is correct. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. So what do you think he's done? I think we saw him move some weights around.
Well, I don't know. Mr. Blythe's been pulling a long time, so he might have done some stuff. He might have just felt like he could have drove that truck better. I mean, when he left there, he could have felt like, hey, I might need to just ease into it a little more, or I might need to not leave at such a high RPM, you know, or maybe I instead of, you know, really getting after it at 50 foot, I might need to wait to 75 foot.
Okay, we're going to go to a break here, everybody, and we'll be right back, so you don't go anywhere, because we've got lots more here at the Putnam County Fairgrounds.
Southern Landscape Supply offers a large variety of outdoor power equipment, including zero-turn mowers, bad boy tractors, specialty turf equipment, turf and landscape supplies, parts, and services. Since 2004, Southern Landscape Supply has been providing the Upper Cumberland with their outdoor power equipment needs.
Since their beginning in 1956, Swallows Insurance Agency has been providing protection for thousands of individuals and families throughout our region. Swallows Insurance cares about the safety and well-being of you, your family, and our community. Swallows Insurance Agency, with 3 locations in Cookeville, Livingston, and Smithville. Online at swallowsinsurance.com. Bailey Tire Company can align anything. Bailey Tire Company can service the needs of any heavy-duty and commercial vehicle. Bailey Tire Company can align your heavy-duty equipment with pinpoint accuracy. Bailey Tire Company, 6150 Roberts Matthews Highway in Sparta.
Welcome back, everyone. We're just getting ready here as we continue with Class 3, which is a Pro Street 2-wheel drives. And we're going back to Troublemaker, but we can't put our eyes on him. Do you think he's still out there?
I do. I don't know exactly what's going on. Usually he would already be hooked to the sled by now.
So we'll have to probably follow up on that. But while we're waiting, I have a question for you, if we can get it in before they start another pull. But I wanted to ask you about fuel. Somebody wrote this in. What kind of fuel is actually used? Is it regular, aircraft, enhanced? And how much fuel do you actually burn when you're on that run?
All right, so there is a rule on the fuel. Actually, there's some fuels. A lot of people run BP racing fuel. Very few people run an aircraft fuel, because the aircraft fuel is a dry fuel, meaning there's no oil base, and these motors need that oil. You know, that there's a reason it's called aircraft fuel, because it's created for aircraft, not for a motor like these. And so a lot of people run a BP racing fuel. Now, we are not allowed to run an oxygen enhanced fuel. Now, we do run like a Q112 or a C16 or something of that sort. Now, that's 112, 116 octane fuel, but it is not allowed to be oxygen enhanced.
I see. Okay. Well, you know, I'm not sure what happened here, but it looks like we're going to Class 4, and this is Screaming Demon with Chris Powell. Let's see what he does.
This is a good running little truck. And this is called the mini truck class. You'll see a lot of S10s and Ford Rangers. I don't like that smoke. Oh, that's not good.
That's not good. So we think we had some engine problems?
Yeah, definitely some engine issues going on there. It made like a little popping sound right around there, and that smoke bellowed out. That's not healthy.
Oh, look at it, still smoking. Is that supposed to do that?
No, ma'am, it is not. In red, the gentleman right there in the blue shirt is calling for a hook. You see him do his hands together?
Yes.
That means that truck's broke.
Oh.
That's a bad situation. And we really experienced a lot of this in my class this year. But when them trucks break, you know, if he is having, see, they're looking for leaking oil. If he's having engine issues and he doesn't have a spare motor, it could be months. I mean months before this truck is back on the track, because he just can't simply get. You don't go to, you know, you don't get to go to your AutoZone or O'Reilly's and buy parts for these trucks.
So this is the end of the season for him, probably,
if
unless he does has spare one.
Yeah, if he doesn't have a spare motor, it could be season ending, and maybe at this point, the way stuff is to get, it could be a part of next season before he's back.
Well, we're going to replay it, and you walk us through. When do you think that he could feel that he might be in trouble, or can you see it?
Well, right around here, everything's looking good. I mean, the truck's really trying to get a hold. Everything's digging. The front end's starting to bounce off the ground there a little bit. It's starting to get a hold. The truck's still traveling good and straight. So everything's looking good. Right around in here, you'll see a puff of smoke out that left, that driver's side right there.
I see it, yes.
That's when there's fire come out.
Okay.
Now, right here, it really comes out. Right there. Now, a lot of times.
So he lost power probably in that first one, right?
Yeah, and you see that fire, them sparks come out. A lot of times when you see that, it's a valve. They'll shoot a valve tip or something, and it'll go through the intake, go through the piston, and it shoots it out. So that could be a real, you know, detrimental.
So now, what are they doing there to the track? Just making sure there's no oil?
Well, there might have been some carnage on the track. You know, it might have had some metal fragments come out. Of course, they want to pick that up because they don't want a chance at anybody else's tires getting in that.
I see.
These track guys, it looks like they're just driving tractors back and forth, but they've got a real important job.
Anna Gilbert is selling T-shirts for this year's fair for $15.
Yep. Now, technically, that was the first hook. In the rule states, if the first guy breaks, the sled is set. They cannot, because that guy's broken, he can't come back and compete. So that sled will be set.
So nobody else can say it's too light, it's too heavy.
Everybody's
going to run at the.
Everybody's running that sled now.
Okay.
Because the rule states, you know, if the first truck, which is technically your test hook, if his truck breaks and he is not able to compete, that sled has to remain at that set. Because, you know, what happens if you get down there and you make an awesome pass? You're way out there. Your truck breaks, you know, the last 6 inches, your truck breaks. Well, then they say, oh, no, we need to reset the sled. Well, then how do you know that nobody else was going to beat that? That truck could have won that class. Even though he might have broke the last inch. You know, he could have won it. But if they reset the sled, then he's not allowed to come back and have a fair opportunity to compete at his full abilities.
Oh, wow. Okay, so it's on now.
It's on. It's on like Donkey Kong right now.
Yes. All right, so we've seen Screaming Demon, and that did not go well. Do we think Devon Thomas is still competing? I don't see.
He's still competing. He just ain't named his truck yet.
Oh, really?
Now, let me tell you about names
All right,
of trucks.
tell me about this. There's a story to tell.
I've got a cousin.
Okay.
That got me into pulling. His name's Jonathan Redfern. We call him Jono. He had a white truck that was called Dad's Addiction because his dad was addicted to truck pulling. They sold that truck last year and have removed from pulling. And we had another friend that built the truck out of the same shop that would never name his truck. His name's Mark Weaver. So we used to pick at him all the time that we was going to call his truck Stanley and be like, this is Mark Weaver driving Stanley. You know, just some weird off-the-wall name. So we go to a truck pull one night, and Mark's wife is with us. So we call his truck his wife's name, and they announce it over the PA. I thought Mark was going to choke us.
All right, let's go back with Dawson and Caroline. I think they have someone new to share something with us.
Welcome back to the 96th Annual Putnam County Fair's Access Backstage Pass. And we're here with bread maker, school teacher, award winner, Gina Piggott.
Yes,
hello.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Tell me, you won $100, and what would you do to win that money?
Well, this year the fair had a live bread making rolls for yeast rolls, and I make yeast rolls from sourdough from scratch. And so I made some rolls, brought them in. Apparently, they liked them a lot. And so
she's a
I
bread
won.
lady physically and monetarily.
And a breadwinner.
Yes.
When did you start baking?
I have been baking bread for probably, I hate to say my age, but a long time. So probably 20 years or so.
And is there something about the Putnam County Fair that you think is special that people should know about?
Well, it's really a good atmosphere for anybody. I can remember coming as a kid with my parents. I can remember bringing my own kids to the fair, and we enjoyed it. My kids entered things. They came out and rode the rides. So we've been doing it a long time and enjoyed every bit.
And if you bake bread, come and try and beat her next year at the Putnam County Fair. Let's watch more tractors.
Okay, we're back, and we're still with Class 4. It's the mini trucks.
It's the mini trucks,
And
4,300-pound mini trucks. And this is a real interesting little class. So this class was started for people that really want a truck pull, but they don't have a lot of money to put in these trucks.
Yeah.
They're limited to 406 cubic inch small block motors, and they're all naturally aspirated. No additives, no nitrous, no turbos, nothing of the sort. They are limited to 1-ton drivetrain, which means you can get most of everything for these trucks at a junkyard. You can just go to your local junkyard. They run a Dana 80 rear end in them. They run a 4-speed, old 4-speed style transmission, and they have to run factory gear. They can't get a gear set, custom gear sets for these trucks.
So it looked like the rear tires were larger than the front tires. Why is that?
That's because the back tires are the ones doing all the work. The front tires, they're just kind of hanging out. So now they're limited to 33-inch tires. They have to run a 33, 12, 50, 15, or equivalent size. Like if they run a 16-inch rim, it's a 305. I think it's a 305 70 16. I think is what it is. So they are. This is a working man's class, so to say. And this is a really fun class to watch. These trucks get a little crazy with it from time to time. There's a bunch of them.
Well, though they may be tiny, they are mighty.
Yeah. Yeah, they're mighty mice, that's for sure.
Yeah.
They, did you hear how his truck kept getting, the RPMs kept accelerating the first 100 foot? He slowly accelerated into it.
We're going to replay. Tell us what we're looking at.
So he is slowly accelerating his truck. So that way, there's an old saying you can't outrun this sled, which means no matter how fast you want to go, that sled's only going to let you go so fast. So he's trying to keep that truck engaged to the ground, hooked to the ground, and speed it up a little bit at a time as he goes. He's done a really good job driving.
Now, let's see. Who was that?
That was Devin Thomas.
And and he's not named his truck.
No, named his truck. It's just white.
It's just a white truck.
We can just call it Mighty Whitey.
Well, there you go.
There you go.
Well, so why is naming of the truck, or is it a big thing to name the truck?
Oh, every truck gets its own name. My truck, for instance, it was named because my uncle was a big part of my life growing up. My uncle, really, he per se give me my truck, and then my uncle was a Golden Glove boxer, and he was a boxing champion in the early 80s, and his fight name was Troy Little Deuce Hand. Well, when we started building my truck, we didn't have a name for it. My uncle, who was with me a long time, had passed away before we started pulling my truck. So whenever we started pulling my truck, I named it after my uncle, the Little Deuce. But these trucks, they get their own names. They have their own personalities.
I think it's interesting how that all comes about. You know what's interesting? We've got Carly, who is Carla, who is late night hooker. She was in the Class 3 Backstage Pass with Dawson and Caroline.
Welcome back to Backstage Pass. We are joined by one of tonight's drivers, Carla Turner. Thank you so much for coming on, Carla.
Thank you.
How do you even get into pulling?
Well, my significant other, of course, is one of the pullers in the class. We had 3 trucks, and he decided he was going to have me drive. So last year I drove some in one of his trucks, and lo and behold, he came home with me a truck. So
Now, Carla, you're the only female puller tonight at the fair.
I am the only female puller in that class. There is one lady puller that pulls in the mini truck class. She's not pulling right now, but
But also, you're in the lead for your class. Tell us what class that is.
I am in the 5200 Pro Street two-wheel drive.
Yeah.
I'm the current points leader in that class.
What does your vehicle look like so they can know?
It is a black Ford. It's 2010, 2011, but it's got late night hooker straight across the windshield.
Late night hooker.
Keep a lookout.
You heard it there first. So nice to meet you. Thank you for being here. Good luck.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you, Carla.
Back to
Keep
more
a lookout.
tractors.
All right, we're going with Jason and Country Boys Dime.
Okay, although he kept it going and he did well, wasn't it because he was bouncing a little bit?
Yeah, that truck was getting up and down with it. I told you, these little trucks right here, they get pretty crazy with it from time to time. I mean, I've seen them sideways on the track and everything.
Oh, wow.
Once them front tires leave the
Look
ground
how
right
high
there.
it is right there.
Yeah, they can't turn them. They don't have driving brakes. So once they leave the ground, it's a hope you go straight, old boy. Yeah, that truck's bouncing. You see how he's got that wheel turn, but it's barely even touching?
Yes.
I mean, he's just hoping he don't go jiggy with it.
Seriously?
Seriously, once them front tires leave the ground, he's just going where he's going. That's why I like four-wheel drive. I drive mine.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm scared anyway, so.
Well, I'd be afraid if I wore that helmet that you chose.
Well, it's not as
to.
bad on the inside as on the outside. On the inside, it's just black.
Oh, okay.
It's not that bad. It's just the people looking at it.
Are you saying they can really lose control of these little minis
yeah. Them mini
easily?
trucks, these mini trucks, you're no telling what you love to see here, girl. You get on a track that's got some bad spots in it,
Yeah.
where it's really, really good, and they're really picking them front ends up, and they hit one of them bad spots, that thing will just shoot sideways. Like, I've seen them take out fence posts. Oh, it's crazy.
Oh my gosh, that can be dangerous.
Oh, it's great.
Okay.
I stay way away.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I had no idea that the little minis could be such a little
Oh,
chaos.
they're firecrackers now.
Yeah.
Yeah, because most of them's not going to lift.
But they really try not for that to happen, right? But if
I
they
think
don't,
sometimes they just close their eyes.
no, you don't.
I close my eyes.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do.
Why do you do that?
Well, because there's a light that comes on and tells me when my truck hits 9,500 RPM.
Uh-huh.
When that light comes on, I close my eyes. I'm like, oh, please, poor baby, sweet baby, Jesus, don't let this thing fly apart.
We probably need to talk to you a little bit
No.
about these things.
They
that
hook to
you're
a
going
sled,
through.
it'll stop you sometime or another.
Sometime, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, it's a different strategy that some might take. Yeah. Okay, so now what's going on now? So that was Jason in Country Boys Dime.
Yes, ma'am.
Now we're going to see Dirty Deeds, and that's Adam McFall. Do you know Adam?
Dirty Deeds is David, but
I'm sorry.
yeah, I know David.
You do know
Yeah.
David. Okay, tell me
This is a
how
good
you know
running little
David.
truck. This is a good running little truck. Now, you'll see some of these trucks are slick, and some of them are not so slick.
Well, this one looks a little slick.
Yeah, this guy right here, he really takes a lot of pride in this truck. This truck really, really runs well. Now, this is one of them classes where there will be 10 or 12 of these trucks, and you cannot pick a winner by just saying, hey, this guy's going to win, because these trucks are really hit and miss. Some trucks, that little Hulk truck right there, like you go to some tracks and that joker will be screaming down through there. The next weekend, he won't make it 200 foot.
So, see that little slope in the front? I know you should, but to me, that would be hard to see out of the window.
I told you they close their eyes.
I'm telling you, don't tell people that they close their eyes.
Yeah. You'll see.
Oh, me.
Now, they can see over them. You don't have to see a lot. Most of the time, that hood scoop, you're sitting on the left-hand side of it. Yeah, boy. Uh-oh. He's on it now.
Okay, a couple of things I saw was, do they look closely at the fuel color in this
Yep.
class
and
as well?
All right. Now, on these gas classes, when you see that little bluish gray smoke, that means that truck is running rich.
We're
See
gonna
how it's
replay it?
puffing out right there?
Yes.
That means that truck is running rich. Now, what that means is that he has got a little more fuel than he's got air. And rich is good, it's safe. Lean is mean, but it's dangerous.
I see.
When them trucks, and they don't have no little haze, it's called a haze. When they don't have that haze coming out, they're on the edge of that truck getting real, real hot, and they can melt a piston down.
Oh, that doesn't sound good. So, but he did start to bounce there at the end. That's
he
just
did.
because he had reached his max, right?
Well, it got down there around that 200 foot, and we seen it in the 5200 class. That track seemed to be really getting a hold around that 200 foot mark, and these minis are following in the same path that them 52s have, and that track's really getting good traction down there. That says Brittany on it. Looks like a young lady's driving that one.
Nah, maybe it's just a sweetheart of the one driving it. You think it's a
Ain't
killing
no sweetheart gonna ride in there with him?
No, just had the names on there. So this is Killing Time with Adam McFall. Do you know Adam?
I don't, but I know the Killing Time truck, and it runs pretty good.
Does it?
Yes, ma'am. It's that little orange truck right there with the Yosemite Sam on it. There's a rootin', tootin', shooting truck there now.
Oh, okay.
So it runs good, little S10. Yep.
Now, did you bring your little girl to the fair tonight?
I did not. My little girl, Josie Wells, today was her last day of pre-K. She starts kindergarten Monday morning. So they had, what do they call it? Open house from 1 to 7 tonight. So my wife had to stay home and take Josie Wells to her open house for her kindergarten.
Oh, oh gosh, that means you'll be going in the first grade.
No, kindergarten. Oh,
kindergarten?
kindergarten.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so here's the truck. It's going to be backing up there.
This is Killing Time. Yes,
well,
ma'am.
it's kind of a cute little truck, I think.
Now, if I remember right, there's a pair of brothers. See if there's a pair of boys in there that's got the same last name.
So we got Anthony Clark and we got Ricky Clark. Ricky Clark's in Hulk.
Hulk, yep, and Anthony Clark. They're brothers too. Now,
oh, here's Ricky
here's
Clark.
Caleb McFall. Now, this right here is American Pride, and this is one of the brothers as well, Adam. This is a pair of, these are young men. These guys here are just out of high school, baby. And this is a family deal here. And these two brothers drive these two trucks, and their dad hauls them all over. I believe that's his dad there in front of him. Now, one of these boys, I want to say it's this one, is actually going into Southeast Lineman Training Center to learn to be an electrical lineman and build power lines.
Learn to be what?
He's going to learn how to work on power lines.
Oh,
He's
wow.
going to school for this.
Okay.
That's what I do for a living. And these guys right here, one of them come to me and was asking me about it a couple pulls ago. And I believe it was this gentleman here. This little truck really runs good.
It's a nice looking truck as well.
Yes, ma'am. Both of their trucks are really good looking trucks.
Okay, he's got the slack out, so here we go. The RPMs are up.
Coming up with them. You hear a slowly. There he goes. Yosemite Sam went on out there with it.
I just thought it was a kind of a smooth run. Am I wrong?
It was good, yeah. It didn't have a whole lot of bounce. You see how it picked them front tires up and it kind of held them there? That's what he wanted. He really wanted.
So we're going to watch it again, and we can see what was done really well in this run. Again, this is Killing Time with Adam McFall. If we can get the replay up, he's been released to go.
3:15.
Here we go with the replay.
That's currently the leader right there.
Okay, here's your leader, and this is what the run looked like. And, I mean, just
See
where
how-
we were sitting, it was good.
How he kind of just eased on that thing, got it out of there. And two-wheel drives are a lot more finicky than them four-wheel drives. About that first 50 or 60 feet, of getting them trucks hooked up. Because them little trucks got so much power, they can just pour the gas to them and just blow the tires off and get no traction. But this young man, he done a real good job, you know, leaving them out of there real easy and kind of letting it walk out.
Just kind of smooth from beginning to the end.
Yep. Kind of like pulling an old hay wagon. You ever pulled a hay wagon and load of hay?
Oh, no.
Well, you got one of them loaded down with hay, and you got an old stick shift truck, and you try to take off, you got to take off real easy.
I was a little bit concerned at first because the truck was starting to bounce.
Yes, ma'am. It was trying to get a hold. Yep. The little truck really worked well. See how them front tires are kind of lifting up, kind of holding. They're not really slamming down. They're kind of picking
Just
up. They're kind of
bouncing.
just floating a little bit. See how it's just kind of floating and barely touching and coming back up? That truck's really working. He's got it weighted real well.
But then it started to get a little bit higher here, as it should have been.
Well, that's around that 200-foot mark where we see them other trucks really start to lift that front end. But it, you know, it kind of lifted it, but it kind of held it there too. It really didn't slam back down, so he held it.
Okay, so let's see. This should be Hulk.
Yes, ma'am.
Ricky
This is
Clark,
Ricky.
and you're saying this is going to be a brother as well of
Yes,
somebody
ma'am.
in the
He has
class?
a brother also that pulls. There's a lot of family members that pull with each other in this class. This is a, you know, like I said, class was for people that wanted to pull, but didn't want to spend an arm and a leg and a war pension to build one of these. But it's still not cheap.
I bet it's not.
No.
But now they've got some money to slick up the truck.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, they made it pretty now. Oh, Jimmy Murphy told us pretty don't win pulls. But I like mine pretty. Even if I don't do good at the truck pull, at least I look good trying.
And most of them must like pretty because most of them are slicked out.
Well, they take pride in these trucks. Uh-oh.
Something's wrong.
Yeah,
Something's
yeah.
wrong.
Told you. Don't get crazy down there because they
All
can't
right,
turn.
So there at the end, he tried to give it a little bit more juice to get him a
Yeah.
little bit farther down, and I thought he was going to go sideways.
Yeah, see how that truck drifted over to that right-hand side?
Yes,
Well,
yeah.
he couldn't turn it to make it go back left, so he had to let out of the gas pedal, let the front end get down and turn, and then get back in the gas pedal. See, here he comes. He's going straight right now. Everything's perfect. Truck's starting to drift over here, that right-hand side. He's got to let out of it, so his front tires are touched. And gets back in it, but the damage is done. The monkey's already up there on his back.
Okay, I see what you're saying now.
Yep, I'm telling you, they can't turn them.
So if they knock down or go out of these lines that are painted out there, do they get
well,
any
the
points
sled,
against them or
the
no?
sled can go. It's their tires, which if that tire was to touch that white line, they would be disqualified. So as long as they keep their tires.
Okay, say that again. They would be
If-
disqualified of what?
If their tires pass that white line or even touch that white line.
Okay.
Now the sled is, you know, of course it's a lot wider than trucks, especially these minis. So, you know, you could get real close to that line and that sled's, you know, you just seen swiped out that 200-foot mark.
Well, I thought this truck tried to fight a little harder, or had to fight a little bit harder, I
Yeah,
should say.
he did. He really did. He struggled. But that's the thing about these minis.
Yeah.
You know, that truck, he can back that truck right back down and hook the sled, and it's liable to take it plumb out the back gate.
Wow.
But, you know, that's the give and take you get a truck puller.
Just seemed like from the very beginning, it just wasn't as smooth as Killing Time was.
He was really wanting to be aggressive with it, and he just didn't take it.
So this is an interesting looking truck. It's
This
a
is
good
90s
thing.
model Ford Ranger. Yep. What's the
Wow.
name?
I think it's a good thing with Kendall Hall.
Yep. This little truck runs real well. And he's running a Ford motor in it. He's a true Ford. Now, some of these trucks, you'll see a Ford Ranger body, but they don't have a Chevrolet motor in it.
Oh, now how do you know that? Do they just share that with you, or how do
Well,
you
you
learn?
can, sometimes they'll take the hoods off, And if that distributor is in the backside of that motor, it's not a Ford.
Okay.
Now, Ford's distributors are in the front. So this truck right here is a true Ford.
And we've established the little thing in the front is not just for looks alone, but that's the weights.
Yes, ma'am. That's why he keeps his weights. Now, a lot of people, some people prefer the box, and some will just hang it up there. Now, some of the people that are a little more tricky, they want the box so that way the other competitors can't see how much weight they have out there in the front.
So these weights are really watched by others.
Oh, yeah. Now, look, there's some of these classes, in these tractor classes, they've got the weights that are identical size to their real heavy weights, but they're plastic. They don't weigh 5 pounds. But you can't tell them apart.
And that's legal to do that?
Oh, yeah, it's legal. Yeah, it's called being deceptive.
Well, let's see what kind of pull this Ford brings to us.
Now, he's really slowing her out of there. Now, he's coming on up with her. There you go. He's coming after old Yosemite Sam, ain't he? No, we still got killing time in front right now.
Wow.
But you see how that guy really eased that truck out of there, let that truck settle in?
But his start wasn't as smooth. So here we go.
Yeah, you see how it was, he left real smooth, and you know, his front end's just kind of hovering. It's not really way up. It gets up a little bit right here, but that's where we've seen everybody's kind of come up. Right there around that 200-foot mark.
And so when we're seeing a lot of trucks doing this, is that another indication that that sled has the right weight on it?
Well, not per se. It's just an indication that right in that area, that track is trying to get up. It's better there. They're getting more traction, and it lets that tires bite harder right there in that area.
Okay.
Now the sled seems to be doing really well with these minis. He seems like he's shutting them down right around that 300-foot mark, and he's working with them well. And he's light enough to let them minis get going, you know. Which is a lot of times we have trouble with these bigger sleds. With these mini trucks, they have a hard time getting them going because these little trucks only weigh 4,300 pounds. Now that sled probably weighs 60,000.
It's not very...
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely not something you won't run over your toe.
No. I would not.
No.
No, I would not like that at all.
That's a cool name. A little Ford Ranger named Pirate Ranger.
Oh, scared I was involved. Well, let's go backstage and let's see what Caroline and Dawson are doing.
Welcome back to Backstage Pass at the Putnam County Fair. We are here with two icons in my life, Tyler and Jackie Bester. Hello.
Hello.
So tell the people what you do for your profession and what grades you're involved with.
So currently I am working for Putnam County Schools as the early post-secondary opportunities supervisor.
Of course.
Yes.
Yes, Tyler.
And I'm still an agriculture teacher, and I'm up at Monterey High School.
Wonderful. So tell us, what does the fair mean to you?
Well, the agriculture fair is so important. It's a great opportunity for our students that are involved in agriculture to come out and showcase what they're doing. And then we have so many other areas that, youth can get involved.
And Jackie, although she's no longer involved, she was my FFA advisor all through high school. We had so many good times.
We did.
And she taught the best of the best, and then she got out. So obviously,
that's true. No one could compare.
No one could compare.
Once you graduated, I had to go on.
Well, I love you guys so much. Thank you for being here. Let's go watch more trucks.
Fred Jordan.
Yep.
And he's driving running in the red.
Yes, ma'am.
And you said he's pretty good at this, right? Y'all are friends.
Yeah, he runs his truck a lot. He's pretty good running a little STN truck. Never come up.
No.
He probably had a little bit too much weight out there on the front.
That's why it didn't come up.
Yes, ma'am. It's a little too heavy out there, and he couldn't get enough traction. I asked him about the name of this truck one time. I said, Jordan, why you see the front end just kind of never really lifts off the ground? The truck really never hooks. And when them trucks, the reason it's so important for that front end to lift, because when that front end lifts, it puts every bit of that 4,300 pounds on them back two tires and really lets them tires get a hold to the ground.
I see.
I said, Jordan, what do you name that truck running the red for? He said, well, the truck was red when we got it. He said, most of the time, tack, on a factory tack, it red lines around 6,000 RPMs, and we're running way over 6,000. So we're running them RPMs way up in the red zone.
I see. So that's the name, running
Running
in the
red.
red.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. So
You see there? That's the young man right there. It's winning it.
which one is
And
left,
the one in the
right,
middle
center?
with the dog on his shirt.
Okay.
That's the young man that drives Killing Time.
Oh, okay. So that's Adam McFall, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Killing Time.
Yeah, so he's waiting for his brother to pull steel.
Okay, so his brother would be
be
American Pride,
Caleb
McFall, but
Yes,
he's
ma'am.
almost at the end of the
That's right.
competition. Okay. All right, so because they're competitors and they'll just want to see who pulls
Well,
the
he's
best?
probably helping his brother. Some brothers do that. Me and my brother, we'd probably tell each other the wrong stuff because we want our brother to beat us. Now, me and my cousin, we pulled in the same class when I started.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, we helped each other out just like, anything else. But, it didn't matter to us which one won as long as nobody else beat us.
Now that's good. At least
That's,
you
that's
were
how we
pulling-
was.
Okay, good.
We didn't want to not win, but we just didn't want nobody else to beat us.
Okay.
As long as one of us two won, we was good with it.
Well, I like it that you two guys were looking out for each other. Yeah.
He beat me a bunch.
So what made him decide to change class, or you to change
Well,
class?
we was pulling in a class called Hot Street.
Okay.
And
We're going to go to a quick break and then come back to your story. How's that sound, Josh?
That'll work.
All right. Don't go anywhere, people.
The Realty firm has been serving the buyers and sellers of the Upper Cumberland since 2012 with locations in Cookeville, Byrdstown, Livingston, Crossville, and Gainsborough. The full-service realty firm ensures that each client is educated, motivated, and updated, creating an experience, not a transaction.
Southern Landscape Supply offers a large variety of outdoor power equipment including zero-turn mowers, bad boy tractors, specialty turf equipment, turf and landscape supplies, parts, and services. Since 2004, Southern Landscape Supply has been providing the Upper Cumberland with their outdoor power equipment needs.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
So
Anthony
now
Clark.
we're going to watch Anthony and nobody to blame.
He's a good running little blue truck. This truck comes from up there in central Kentucky.
Now, how did you know it was from Central Kentucky? You've seen
I
it?
see this guy a lot. I see a lot of these guys throughout the year, and I know where this truck comes from. He's got it balanced good. He's hungry. I believe we might have a new winner, new leader. 336. There you go.
Yep.
So Mr. Clark just took over the lead from the Killing Time truck.
So Anthony Clark, nobody to blame. He takes the lead by out driving Killing Time with the driver Adam McFall.
Number one. That's a really good feeling whenever you sit down there on the big end. They're like, hey, we got a new leader.
Can you hear him call it?
Sometimes you can. Sometimes it's a little loud in the trucks. You can't hear it. This PA system they have here in Putnam County is really good. And this announcer's doing a really good job for these fans. And
Look how good he did.
That little truck just hovered right there, right where he needed to be. He drove it really great. He watched this track and knew what his truck needed to do for this track. And he went straight.
And stayed with it.
Yeah, he did. Didn't have to get in and out.
No, he did well. He did really well. It was just a straight shot,
Yes, ma'am.
start to finish. Good for him. I'm so glad that he did well.
Yeah, he did really well.
Yeah.
Yeah. He also knows there's several trucks back there behind him that's coming to get him, too.
So there's what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, maybe 8 other ones that are
Yeah.
coming up.
Yeah,
We
they're
still
not-
have in this
yeah.
class 4 mini trucks. And so even though he's sitting good right now, it doesn't mean he's going to stay
doesn't
there,
mean-
right?
That's right. I mean, because them other guys, they're watching back there, too. They might have been watching what he was doing with his weights.
Yeah.
And like, hey, let
Oh.
me try that with mine.
And I almost feel like you need to put curtains around the weights and not let
man,
everybody
them guys,
see.
they're so secretive. I mean, it's like, just secret after secret. And me, I don't care. You ask me, I tell you. But if you beat me, I'm happy for you. As long as my truck comes out, we make a good, clean pass, and I do what I'm supposed to do. Hey, if you beat me, congratulations. You're the better man that day. But don't mean that I ain't coming back to try to get some next time.
Well, just to be real nosy, tell me about the prize money on some of these events. Do you feel comfortable talking about that?
Yeah, I'll tell you.
Well,
You don't get much.
Okay.
So, it's some of the big pools. We go to, like I said, we pulled in the Southern Invitational this year in Murfreesboro, and that's a big event, and it pays rather well. Now, these smaller pools, stuff like that, like this pool right here, this is a good-sized pool. Now, it'll pay $500 to win it.
Now, see, he starts out so loud, that concerns me sometimes.
You see his tires kind of slip. He's trying to ease that truck out of there. Now he's coming on with it. See there? Something ain't right.
I'm always shocked because I don't know that I expected to go that far.
Well, you know, you think they're going to stop any second, but them trucks are they're really gritty, you know, trying to get every inch they get. But you see at the very beginning of that truck has tires kind of spin, they stop, they spin, they stop. Right there, see that
right
spin,
here?
stop, spin, stop, spin. And what he's trying to do is he's trying to ease that clutch off. And he can feel that tire do that on that clutch pedal. And he's trying to ease it off where it spins a little bit, but not a whole lot.
Okay, so there was some strategy, and then I just thought maybe from where I was looking at it that he just didn't have a good traction on
No,
there.
ma'am. Well, there's not a good traction there, but he's trying to use his clutch to get that truck took off smooth without spinning a whole lot. I tell you, there's a lot more to these trucks that you just get in them and turn them loose, you know. There's a lot more, and not everybody can drive one of these trucks. You know what? I was raised up on a little dairy farm up there in north of Springfield, and from the time I was big enough that I could touch the pedals, we was driving something. But like I said, you know, I drive my truck like you drive an old hay wagon truck. You know, you just try to ease off of it and try not to throw the hay bales off the back. That's what I think about when I drive. You know.
So you were on a farm and you were just driving the tractors and then it led into this sport?
Hey, me and my brother were kids. I got an older brother, and me and him was real close. When we was kids, he's probably 5, 6, so that'd have made me 4. Well, he couldn't touch the pedals. Well, I couldn't see over the steering wheel, so he would stand up in the seat and drive the truck, and I'd sit on there at the bottom, and he'd tell me gas and brake, and we'd drive the farm truck around the farm like that.
Oh, my goodness, this sounds like a movie that was made.
Well, if they made a movie about our childhood, they'd probably come get us for some of the stuff we done. We was always into something.
So what we see coming up on the screen now is a truck called Love Pup. And I think that's your friend Mike, is that correct?
Yep. Now there's 3 of these. Now there was 3 of these trucks that are in the family. Two of them is minis, and one of them is the spook truck.
Okay.
You know. So.
This looks like a smaller truck, but it's not.
Well, I think this is actually a Chevy Love. Now, back in the early 80s, Chevrolet made a Love. And I used to have one of these trucks that I drove back and forth to work, and it was a diesel truck. Had a little diesel motor in it. It got like 45 miles a gallon. It was awesome.
Oh, wow.
But it would go over 60 miles an hour.
Oh,
Yeah.
I bet that didn't sit well with you.
No, I didn't care. I was more worried about the fuel mileage.
Yeah.
We pimped it out. I had a flatbed on it, had stacks on it. It blowed black smoke. I thought I was cool.
You were cool.
Yeah, and it was Smurf blue. Oh, it was great. Yeah, these little trucks right here, they were fun little trucks.
Okay, here he goes.
Yep. There he comes. Coming on. Here he's easing into it. There he goes.
And now it kicks in, right?
Yep. Now you hear that flutter? Did you hear that motor kind of flutter?
Yeah.
All right. A lot of people think that that's just a microphone, but in all aspect, he's hitting the rev limiter of that truck. So if he has his rev limiter set at like 9,000, then that's a runaway trip. Keeps him from over revving his truck. And that flutter that you're hearing is when he hits that rev limiter. It keeps him from over revving and blowing up his motor.
So it didn't go as far, but it's still a good run.
It made a good pass. It's a respectable pass. He'll be in the mid pack. You know, when you got 20 of these trucks and you finish in the top half, that's pretty respectable.
Oh, it's not bad, right? Okay.
I was always happy anytime I went to a pool and I didn't finish last.
Oh. Okay, well, while we're waiting for the next one, let's go back to Backstage Pass with Dawson and Carolyn.
And we're back at Backstage Pass. Let me tell you, we went to Faith Chapel Ministries, and we got some fried goodies. I've got a fried Oreo. What do you have?
I got fried pickles.
And listen, if it's fried, dyed, and countryfied, we're going to have it.
We're going to have it. And we needed a boost.
We needed a boost.
We had so many powerful guests on the show so
Our
far
energy's
tonight.
depleted. Each one of these fried Oreos is about 3,000 calories,
Yes.
and we're going to love it.
Just about. We're going to eat up every single one.
And you deserve it when you come to the fair. You've got one more day to get your calorie intake up at the Putnam County Fair, so come and see us.
Don't miss out.
Don't miss out. Let's get back to the truck pool.
Look at my... I'm sorry, we're back, and look at this truck that's out there
This is
now.
Trevor Gentry.
Oh, man, they've got it tricked out with
Oh, yeah.
lights.
This is the stepson to Late Night Hookers.
Oh.
So his dad was Troy Gentry. This is his son, who also, they have 4 trucks in this family. Now,
Okay.
this is Trevor in the Crosswire truck. This truck's a very, very good running, top competitive truck.
Well, it looks good.
It really does. It runs really well, too. He's running a German Straw racing engine in this truck.
So this is Trevor and his fiance? Is this what we're talking
this
again?
is Trevor.
Okay.
This is the son to Troy Gentry that is engaged to Carla, which we spoke to earlier on Backstage Pass.
Because
that
she
drives
had the
Late
green
Night
lights
Hooker.
under her truck.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
And he backed it up for her and everything.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Well,
He just painted this truck over the winter.
did he really?
He done it all himself. Him and his father run a auto mechanic shop. They live over in south of Glasgow, Kentucky. Really easing it out of there. Coming on with it now. He's trying. He's trying. There's Miss Carla down there recording for him.
What was recording?
Miss Carla.
Oh, okay.
Did you say 325?
I think he said 325.
310.
Okay, talk me through this.
So he's doing real well. He's kind of fluttering a little bit, but it's really doing well. It's straight. Truck's running real well. Just didn't get there.
So why do you think it didn't get there? What do you think that he could have done differently, possibly?
He could have left just a little bit harder. You know, I mean, he could have changed the weights a little bit. I mean, these trucks are so finicky. You know, just a matter of 10 pounds here and there might be 3 or 4 foot difference in these trucks, you know.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you really don't know. I mean, you could try to strategize, and you know you're going to a certain extent with the weights and everything, but sometimes it's the luck of the draw.
These guys, they keep notebooks of like what they done, where they put their weights at this track, how the track was. So that way next year when Trevor comes back, he'll say, hey, last year we pulled here, the track was kind of like this. I had 150 pounds on the driver's side front. You know, I might need to take 50 pounds off of that, move 50 to the back, maybe move another 20 pounds over to the passenger side front, you know. And just there's so many different scenarios with these trucks to get where they need to get. But
I think it's interesting that
they'll keep a notebook. You know,
Oh.
and they get serious about it.
So they just kind of jot all this down after they've had time to reflect on what worked, what didn't.
Yes, ma'am. And they'll you know, most of the time, like I said, this is truck pulling. is very family oriented. I mean, it's huge family oriented. Like I said, you know, there's some of these pullers that have the brand new babies out here.
That's awesome. Babies in the crowd. I don't know that. Yeah.
And my little girl, Josie Wells, she's been with me in the shop since the day she was born. I've got pictures of her asleep on my creeper out in my shop while I was working on the truck. You know, I mean, it's about family and you know, passing traditions down and creating stuff with your family. And these guys, I mean, they spend a lot of time out in the shop with these trucks and their family, and they just won't, you know, they'll come back next year.
So now this is Ricky Clark, I think, in Wild Thing. Yep.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, did he not drive earlier at Hulk, or what is the?
Well, this might be Ricky's second truck he's campaigning.
Oh.
Now, I think his brother usually drives this truck, but his brother might not be able to make the pool or something, you know. But this is another truck, and it looks a whole lot like the whole.
It looks very similar to it, yes.
I haven't seen this truck a lot. If I haven't really, it hasn't really kicked at me. The Hulk, I've got a friend that pulls our class that has the name of Hulk, so that truck kind of catches my eye all the time. Heck, I got friends that's up in New York watching this.
Do you really?
Yeah, big shout out to the Hulk pulling team up there.
All right, hello, Hulk team.
He kept that one a lot straighter than he kept the Hulk.
Yeah.
And see, that's what I'm talking about. He, on his first truck, he got a little sideways, and you know, this one he had a pretty good hook with it. You know, it kind of come up the front end, and kind of had a little.
See, it went up there, yeah.
Yeah. But it went straight, and he didn't have to pedal it and keep it going out of bounds.
I thought it would go a little bit farther when it first started to run.
I did too. It really seemed like he was doing good, and it kind of planed out there, you know.
Yeah, yeah. I just thought that it would, and then all of a sudden it didn't.
It just didn't.
Yeah.
I've been there. Like, I've been going down the track and be like, man, I'm flying. And the next thing you know, like, whoa, I'm stopping. What's going on here?
Yeah.
So, when that sled hits you, it hits you. Like, you know it. So, sometimes you go down the track and you're going down through there, you're driving, you're doing like this, and you're like, man, is the sled even back there? And then when it hits you, you're like, whoa, yeah, there you are.
So what do you mean when it hits you? It's just like feels like a big tug?
Oh, it's just like somebody throwed a boat anchor out the back. It's just like, whoa, you know. So, yep.
Well, this class has really went well, I think.
Oh, yeah, this class has gone real well. Sometimes this class really gets sketchy.
We got about 4 more to go in Class 4, which is the mini trucks here at the Putnam County Fair. The next one will be the Chain Smoker.
Chain Smoker.
Chain Smoker, and it says the driver's name is Mason
Coomer.
Do you know him?
I do. His granddaddy.
Oh my gosh, look at that paint job.
Yeah. Now this is a Datsun. Now I don't know if many of y'all people remember what Datsun was, but this is a little Datsun truck. And his granddaddy is Mr. Coomer, and they have some oil fields. And his granddaddy has a truck called Black Gold, and then his uncle drives a truck called Black Gold 2, and they're all painted with this paint scheme. And Mason I think he's 18, 19 year old. He's a young gentleman. He's a really, really fierce competitor and really loves this little mini truck he's got here. And it's a little old Datsun. Ain't she so cute?
Yeah, she's covering her ears.
Oh yeah, Mama got her back there.
Yep.
But yeah, but Mason's he's really come a long way with this little truck. He's really developing into a really good driver.
So the stacks, I think that's what they're called.
That's the headers.
Oh, well.
On a diesel truck, they're called stacks.
Okay.
On a gas truck, they're called
I knew
headers.
it had to be on some truck.
Yes, ma'am. He's got chatter caps on there. See that? That's old school.
Well, that's what I was going to ask you about, but since I messed up the stack so badly, I wasn't going to go anywhere.
That's called chatter caps. And what it is, if it's raining and that truck it's not running, it keeps the water from running down in there.
So there's a purpose. It's not just
Yes,
cute.
ma'am.
Okay.
Yeah. You've seen them a lot of older tractors. Mason's really easing into her. He's got her going. Open her up there. Hear that flutter?
He stopped.
Never did get that front end lifted up off the ground. Never had to transfer that weight back to them back tires.
And that's where he needed it for the traction.
Yes, ma'am. That's where he needed it. He might have had it. He might have had that. See how that front end, them front tires never even kind of bobbled. He might have had it a touch heavy in the front end. But Mason will write that in his little book. He'll come back next year and he'll remember that.
It's unusual to see a Datsun, right?
Oh yeah, yeah. Them Datsuns, they were. I don't really remember. Like they were like late '70s models. Them little trucks were kind of like a Toyota. Like I think Toyota took over Datsun or something like that. But
really?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. I don't think that. Well. Not that I've ever been around that. I think last year was the first time I really kind of got up close and personal with some of them. I don't even remember the Datsun being here last year.
No, ma'am.
Could have been, but I don't know that.
That's the only little Datsun that I know of.
Well, while we're waiting for more to come here at the Putnam County Fair, let's take a break. So you stay with us, and we'll be right back.
Since their beginning in 1956, Swallows Insurance Agency has been providing protection for thousands of individuals and families throughout our region. Swallows Insurance cares about the safety and well-being of you, your family, and our community. Swallows Insurance Agency, with 3 locations in Cookeville, Livingston, and Smithville. Online at swallowsinsurance.com.
WCTE's coverage of the Putnam County Fair is brought to you by Swallows Insurance Agency, The Realty Firm, Bailey Tire Company, the Putnam County Farm Bureau, Southern Landscape Supply, the City of Cookeville, Putnam County, the Putnam County Fair, and by Twin Lakes.
Oh, I just want to say a big thank you to the sponsors that are sitting here thinking about how we're here tonight. We're having such a great time, and it's all because of our wonderful sponsors, whether it's Swallows Insurance, Farm Bureau, just so many to name, and you see them on the screen. So if you see them out and about and you're local here, please thank them for supporting WCTE so we could bring this wonderful event to you. So let's see, who are we going to go to next?
Well, we just pulled Mr. Cooper, so now we're going to Larry Johnson.
So he's going to be driving down and dirty.
Down and dirty.
Okay.
This is a good-looking little S10 truck here.
Okay.
He's got some blue lights.
Oh. I tell you, you're all getting fancy with these lights.
Yeah. I'm scared of the dark. So I got lights on mine because I'm scared of the dark.
Oh, my goodness.
You think I'm joking, but I'm not.
It's okay. You're going to be okay.
As long as we keep them lights right yonder, we're good. Them lights go out, girl, I'm going to scream like a little girl and run.
Uh-oh. All right, so what we're going to see here, he's starting off slow.
Yeah, kind of trying to ease it out of the hole.
Weights were heavy in the front, right?
He's heavy. Yeah, he definitely needed some. That don't sound good.
Oh, you think so? Oh. Okay, do you see anything happening here? So we see the fuel.
It's never really hooked up. Like the tires are never really planted. They're not really solid into the ground. And he didn't have any weight transferred to them rear tires, helping him from his front tires lifting at all. He really missed his weights there.
Well, just learning from you and listening to you talk, and you saw that back tire from that run that you were talking about earlier, it was just like that front was just too heavy.
Too heavy. Yep. I mean, just never had enough hook for that tire to be able to lift that front end and really set that trunk.
And didn't go the distance.
No, ma'am.
Well, it was a good, decent trial, I have to say that.
Oh, he put a valiant effort towards it, that's for sure.
All right, and we're going to see American Pride. Now, Caleb McFall is the brother
To Adam.
of Adam, and Adam was driving Killing Time.
Yep, and
who there for a while was in the...
Yeah, he's in second right now.
He's in second right now. Okay.
Yep.
So I'm
And
anxious to see
I believe
Caleb.
Caleb is a younger brother.
All right. So American Pride, that's the Roach coach. I don't know.
Now that's the 5,800-pound trucks. I think that's the next class.
Okay, I see. I thought, oh, where did the Roach coach come from? I like the green truck in the kind of the background there.
That's Troy Gentry's other truck. That's him right there in the green shirt with the black breeches.
Oh gosh, I just hate to say this, but I think Dawson and Carolyn might be signing off for the night. But let's go back and check and make sure.
Thank you all so much for tuning into Backstage Pass tonight. I'm Caroline Moore.
And I'm Dawson Davidson. Tonight is the last night of coverage at the 96th Annual Putnam County Fair. We've covered the rodeo, we've covered the horse show, and we've covered the truck and tractor pull. Tell me one of your favorite moments from tonight.
I'd have to say interviewing Carla Turner, our late night hooker driver. What about you, Dawson?
Mine would be the earless goat, Petey, who will win us a Daytime Emmy.
Absolutely.
Well, it's been a treat to be on TV with you all for the past week. Thank you for tuning in and supporting agriculture in the Putnam County Fair. And I think on that note, good night.
Well, you know what? Dawson and Caroline never disappoint. I'm
They
telling
look like they're
you,
having good fun back there.
they
don't
have had the best time, and they make us smile and laugh, and this whole experience better. So we're so thankful that they always do a great job at our Backstage Pass area. Great interviews, and they're very entertaining.
Yes,
Speaking
ma'am.
of entertainment, here's American Pride with Caleb McFall. I'm anxious to see what this brother will bring.
Yeah, this brother right here, he's really hardcore in the pulling. I think he's more serious about it than the older one. He's a lot more competitive. He's got that truck weighted about right. See if front tire's already starting easing up.
Oh, but it's bouncing.
He'd watch him a couple of trucks in front of him. He pulled some weight off front end. Might have pulled a hair much off. It got a little high there a couple of times.
It really was bouncing in the front, so we're saying that's because there wasn't enough weight,
Might
right?
not have had enough. Yeah, like I said, these trucks are so finicky. I mean, it might have been a 5 or 10 pounds difference. Might have kept that front end just a little bit lower. But yeah, I mean, he really, he
it
didn't
got
cut him
high.
no slack.
No. I mean, he kept going, but wow.
Yeah, I noticed the track's getting a little dustier as they go. It might be losing a little grip down there, too.
Well, I'm beginning to cough a little bit more.
Are you? I'm just used to it.
You're just used to
I'm
it?
just used to it. I've been eating dirt all my life.
Yeah.
So
I guess I might have had some mud pies in my life, but this is different.
when I was a teenager, I had an old Chevrolet truck, rear end busted on it, and I was out there working on it, and I come in the house. You get gear oil in your hands. It don't just wash off. You know, that stuff's going to wear off.
Oh.
I was getting a sandwich. My brother said, "You need to wash your hands. That sandwich is black." I said, "I washed them." I said, "You know, God made dirt. Dirt don't hurt." And he said, "That ain't dirt. That's gear oil." I said, "Well, I'm sure he made some of that too."
Oh, me, you and your sayings.
Ew.
We're going to see if some of these sayings can help the next one here, which is Rolling Thunder.
This is the last one. It's last
And
chance.
It is, and it's driven by Doug Harris.
Doug Harris. Yep. This little truck runs
Do you know
good.
Mr. Doug?
I know the truck. I've seen the truck. I don't know him per se personally, but I've seen the truck. The truck's real competitive. I've seen it in the winter circle a lot this year.
Oh, have you really?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, it's not a bad-looking truck.
No,
Got
ma'am,
a kind
it's
of
not.
a paint job on it.
Yeah, it takes some time to get them lightning bolts and whatnot on there. I should have got them to talk to that coon.
I know,
That's
right?
one of the Carnahan brothers.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so what you're not seeing, folks, is one of the Carnahan brothers came by to give our host, Josh here, a hard time. And I think they succeeded. Did they give you a little bit of a hard time?
Yeah, they're pretty good about it. It's all in good fun.
It is in good fun. We're glad they stopped by.
We were raised, if people ain't picking and poking on you, they don't like you. So
That's
I guess
right.
they like me because they pick on me all the time.
Yeah. That's kind of fun when you get together for family events, right?
Oh, yes, ma'am. Yeah.
Okay, so Rolling Thunder is backing in there.
And you notice all of these trucks are running a DOT style tire. Now, you would think, now me personally, I thought this when I started pulling, that you'd want a big mud tire. You know, something that really gets traction. But that's not the case. See, the mud tire, they tear up a lot of dirt. They move a lot of dirt out from under them. And that dirt is collected by that sled pan.
Oh.
So that makes that sled harder to pull when that dirt clogs up front of it.
Okay, that makes sense. So even though you think that you would prefer that, that would not be a good thing because it just puts more weight on that sled.
Yes, ma'am. Now you'll see a lot of competitors run these Traxxas in these class. A lot of them run the BF Goodwrench KO2s, and they've got a new tire out, Fire Destination. That this is the truck here running that, and they do real well also. That little hesitant there, he had to get out of it, kind of straighten the truck up. That's when he say, you know, that little bit counts, you know. They say when the big tractor classes, anytime you touch that brake to straighten that tractor up, you lose 5 feet.
Okay, repeat that again. What do they say?
They say in the big tractor classes, when they have to touch them steering brakes to straighten that tractor up,
Right.
it costs you 5 foot on your distance.
Wow. We're going to replay it again, so tell me about what you think you did right.
He's got a real good run. He's running right down that left-hand side, that sideline right over there. And the truck kind of pulls towards his driver's side there a little bit.
So when it comes up, it's like it's a little tilted.
Yes, ma'am. That motor's got torque, and it torques that chassis. And he has to let out of it right around in there, so that way he can turn the truck and straighten it out.
It really starts hopping right there.
And then he gets back in it real hard, trying to get his momentum back, and he just couldn't pull it back out. He did put forth a good effort.
Boy, he did.
He just couldn't get there.
It looked good while he did it anyway.
Big congratulations to Mr. Clark and his win tonight.
So which Clark won? Nobody to blame?
No, the little...
Or Wild Thing?
Nope. No. Anthony Clark, nobody to blame, I believe, is the one that won it.
Okay. Well, it's hard to keep up with this stuff, but it's been so good. Now, when they show this, are these judges that are sitting up there or just people enjoying the race?
That's just people in the more money seats than the regular seats.
Okay. So where are the judges and all?
We don't have no judge. Yeah,
just keeping time
sled,
only.
That sled tells you how far you go.
Oh.
And that's your judge.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know if they communicated it to somebody. And
well, they have track officials for say, like people that's responsible for the green flags, that tells you when to go, when not to go. They have tech officials that take your truck that tell you if you're legal or if you're good, you know. And they got officials, but they're per se no judge. Like this is not a judge event. It's just see how far you can go and hope you can go far enough.
How fun is that? So we've finished class 4.
Yes, ma'am.
I think WCTE will provide, or will stay on the air, I should say, until 10 p.m.
Yes, ma'am.
And then at that time we'll sign off. But I did want to mention that class 5 is getting ready to begin, and that's the Pro Stock 2-wheel drive. We still have a lot of people in the stands.
We still have a lot of people here, and there's still a lot of pulling left. Like we still got the diesel trucks to go and stuff.
So are those the ones where out of the stacks?
Yes, ma'am.
The colored.
Yeah, the 2630 diesels. That's whenever you're really going to see the fuel change and hear the turbos wind up and spool up. And that's a real interesting, fun class to watch. A lot of horsepower. A lot of wheel speed out of them trucks.
It seems like last year, and I'm not sure why, and I could be totally wrong, but that they were much earlier, and I don't know if that was because the classes were shorter or...
They move them classes around sometimes, and sometimes, you know, sometimes they'll move a class or something like that because people are running late. Like, you know, because everybody that you've seen pull tonight, they work a regular job, you know. They get up, they go to work every morning.
But it's the weekend.
That's right. It's Friday night.
It's Friday night. We're at the Putnam County Fair. We're having a wonderful time. We're in Class 5, and that is the Pro Stock two-wheel drive. And I think there's like 2, 4, 6 entries. And I think the first one we're going to see is Black Gold 2. Interesting name.
Driven by Jeremy Shaw.
You know Jeremy.
I do. Jeremy's actually the engine builder that builds my motors in my truck.
Oh, really?
He is.
Well, we're going to go for a short break, and we'll be right back.
Washes my skin, think it's time I find my place, yeah.
Fasten your seatbelt.
Is it over? It's just the beginning.
I may be petite, but I'm as big as you get. You're taking my breath away.
Float like a butterfly and sting like a bee. Amazing.
You could find out what you really believed in. Well, what are you waiting for? You belong here. This is your home.
What is your sense now of the humanitarian situation?
This is making me emotional.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the Putnam County Fair. I hope you've had as much fun as we're having, and we're now watching this Pro Stock two-wheel drives. We may not get through them all because, like I said, WCT may sign off a little bit early tonight because there's a lot more truck action going on, but the stands have a good crowd in them, so there's still more life in this game tonight, and we wish everyone the very best. So tell me about, you said you knew Jeremy Shaw, who was going to be coming out with the Black Gold 2. Tell me about him.
Jeremy's a very well-known engine builder. He builds a lot of engines for pulling trucks and race cars. He has a little old shop behind his house, and everything that comes out of his shop is a custom one-off engine.
Oh, really?
No cookie cutter engines. He builds each engine specifically for each customer, how the customer asks for them to be built.
Well, how do you know what to ask for?
Well, I just took him a rule book and said, I want you to build me an engine that'll run with these guys on these rules. And he said, all right. So he told me how much money it was going to cost. And after I got done passing out and having a stroke, figuring out how I was going to lie to my wife and get the money raised up and she not know about it, we got a new engine.
So do they change the rules very frequently? Because if they do, I guess you kind of have to start over with the engines, etc.
No, ma'am. A lot of the engine rules, they'll set a rule, and it's a 3-year program. Like, that rule will stay in effect for 3 years. And a lot of the engine rules, per se, are not really changed very often at all for that reason, because it is very expensive once you build one of these engines to change something in it. You know, I mean, it's not, like I said, these engines, you can't go up to O'Reilly's and get a part for it, or, you know, go to AutoZone and just get a part for these engines. It just doesn't work that way.
So where do you order them from? Can you tell me a little bit about that process?
Yeah, a lot of these engines are all custom one-off parts. Like for instance, my engine has a diamond piston, and it's a custom ordered piston to a certain specific measurement. It comes with a certain specific dome that's just for this piston. It's set up for a custom ring that goes in it. You know, everything is from a manufacturer that makes custom engine parts.
Wow.
Like our valves, we run a Victory valve, which there's a lot of cars that run Victory valves. But with with the valve pitch and the valve size and the valve angle, everything is different. It's just custom to that one motor.
So how do you know, I mean, is it just word of mouth? I mean, how do you know that this person I can trust, I'm going to put my faith in them to make sure that they bring this?
Yeah, it's a whole lot of word of mouth and a whole lot of seeing other truck pullers. Several of the trucks y'all watched tonight are running Jeremy Shaw racing engines. Several of the trucks are running other engines from other builders that are very well known also. You know, and Jeremy is he's a really good friend of mine. You know, we call him family. You know, he lives right there in Glasgow. And what really brought me to Jeremy is it's an hour and a half from my house to his. I per se, am not real engine savvy. I know some of the ins and outs of the engine, but if I need help with something with my engine, Jeremy is close enough that I can run my truck up there and let him look at it. You know, it's not real far away. You know, I mean, there's been times where some of them engine people, like Harry Morrison, for instance, is in Texas. It's not so easy to take my truck to Texas to let a guy look at a motor.
I would think that there would need to be some strategy about that, you know, it'd be better if you can get that quality to stay close by.
Yes, ma'am. Yep.
Yeah.
And engine builders are very stern about who looks at their motors and stuff, because his livelihood is that motor. You know, his livelihood is that motor.
Well, you know what? We are going to close this out tonight. Yeah. We may not get to see what's happening in Class 5 as far as running, but Josh, I've had the best time learning from you tonight. I hope my viewers have enjoyed hearing you tell us about all the classes and what took place. And I just want to thank our sponsors.
Oh, yeah. I want to thank everybody for hanging out and watching us and you know, enjoying. I hope you enjoyed this show as much as I enjoyed talking to y'all about it.
Oh, yeah. And you know what? Sponsors, I just thank you so much. Thanks to all the team at WCT. We'll see you next year at the Putnam County Fair.